Every day I learn things about Christine, and today I finally heard a fun fact from her that she's finally wearing a bra.
I
And
know. Can you believe it? It's true.
8 years, and now
Wow.
here she is all supported, and it's because of Honey Love.
Honey Love, we love them. They're an independent, female founded brand. All Honey Love products are intelligently designed by women who actually wear them. Okay, that's important, including Betsy, who founded the company and is highly involved in the development of each product. I find that to be like a huge green flag. Honey Love bras are supportive and wire free. Thank God for that kind of technology. Girlies in STEM have figured it out. We finally
Finally.
wireless bras. Woohoo! And they have this shapewear. It's really beautiful. I have like kind of the mesh one. It's like really cute for
Show us.
shapewear. Like I feel like you don't. No,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't wear that for you on air. Sorry, I wear that to like weddings. Okay, that's
Right.
about as far as I go. But it's designed to move with you, and it's very comfortable, unlike a lot of shapewear I've used in the past. So yeah, that's my. I'm not gonna take my shirt off today, but maybe next time.
Rats. Try treat yourself to the most advanced bras and shapewear on the market. Save 20% off Honeylove at honeylove.com/drink. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/drink to find your perfect fit.
After your purchase, they ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in bras and shapewear with Honey Love.
Before we start this episode, we wanted to dedicate it to one of our listeners, Kathy. Her husband, Trevor, reached out and said that Kathy is going through a hard time right now. And well, we wanted to let you know that he reached out to us and told us that we're one of the things that brings you a little joy these days. And we're really grateful that we get to be a part of your life. And we're thinking of you.
Yeah, and just so you know, Trevor said that you are the love of his life, and just your family loves you. We love you so much. Sounds like you bring a lot of light to a lot of people. I also want to add a little shout out to Wyatt and Holden.
They're
Big
two
hugs,
kids.
big love,
Yeah.
big love, big hugs, and to all of you. And this is us sending our love beams your way. Bzzz.
Yeah, we're thinking of you guys, and hope you like the episode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to And That's Why We Drink. Sorry, I want to start talking to. I want to start having an audience, so I'm going to introduce
Christine's
the
like,
podcast.
I want to make sure that we don't get this edited out where you're talking about how great I look.
When my style sachets into the room, I've got to get eyeballs on this thing. I've got to get earballs on this. Listen up. I was talking about my new linen pants. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. You'll hear it in an ad. Sorry. But on that note, we were talking about this fish shirt, and I was about to say to Em, well, now that I often drop Leona off at preschool, it's so strange to be like amongst millennial moms.
Yeah, what are they wearing?
And,
Tell
like,
all of us child-free
honestly,
people.
One day I went over there and I was wearing like bike shorts, and I thought, like, is this like I even asked Blaze, like, is this like bad to wear to a preschool? And he's like, no, you're fine. It was like with actually a Creeps and Crimes sweatshirt. And so I was wearing that, and I got out of the car, and this woman who has like the same car as me gets out, and she has on bike shorts and like a different
Good
like
for
some
you.
TV show. And I was like,
You're
"Oh,
right where you
God, okay."
belonged. Good for you.
I was very pleased. But then today I literally wore I've worn some very strange things, I think, that like maybe I think sometimes, and because I drop her off so sporadically because it's typically Blaze's job and I always look a little confused, I think they probably worry about me. But it's okay, you know. We're all trying our best to get through it. So
What if that's like your meet cute for Leona's best friend's mom
here's
one
what
day?
here's what I realize. I would often put a lot of pressure on myself about that kind of thing. And I would say, well, you know, like, and then I thought to myself, that kind of thing happens when you're not trying for it to happen, right? And not thinking and trying. So I thought, you know what? Why not be as authentically myself as possible, even sometimes if it's embarrassing? And yes, you're right. Maybe someday I will show up in a shirt covered in coffee and birthday cake creamer, and someone else will too, and we'll just bond over that. You know, you never know. Maybe
I'm
that'll be
I'm just saying if the whole thing is like, oh, when you least expect it, well, what are the odds both of you are just
exactly.
wearing like hoodies and bike shorts and not expecting anything?
Oh
So
no, she was way cooler than me. She
oh,
was
oh,
like
oh, oh,
really
oh.
like trendy, and
I see.
I was like, oh no, okay. I like mine was. I mean, mine was like cute.
At the
Mostly
very
because the creeps
least,
and crime sweatshirt, but it was like cute, and I had like Birkenstocks, but like you know, she was like clearly doing a look. I just had
mhm.
pajamas on.
Well, to keep pressure off yourself from finding like the one that's going to be best friends with you and best friends with you and blah, blah, blah.
All my friends listening to this, like, what the fuck?
At the very least, you can weed through them and go, I know it's not that one. It's like, that's got
Yeah.
to
Wait,
relieve the,
and with what
like,
with by saying they're cooler than me?
yeah, at least you can say like, oh, no pressure on that one being my best. I don't have to do anything today. Like that one's not going
Oh,
to be,
yeah. No.
she's
I
not the
mean, I
one.
think I've led my whole life that way. Like, oh, that's above my pay grade. And
Yeah.
I will bow to you, you pass. You
Like
pass on by.
sometimes when I go out to dinner by myself or like I like go to like the coffee shop or something and I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if someone like walked in and like we became immediate friends. And then someone walks in and I can just tell them like it's not gonna be that person. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's like some people
You're
just
like
look way too
having
cool.
Are you having like speed dating but in your own mental speed dating
Kind
with
of, which
people
like I
in
feel bad
public?
that I'm like I guess in some way ranking people when they walk through the door because I'm like, oh, I would be friends with
Interesting.
them. I think maybe I should go like
You're
compliment them and
reading a
see
book
if
by its cover, huh?
I am. But there are some people when they walk in, and you're like, I have to be friends with them. So I guess in that way, you're also reading a book
I
by its
don't think
cover.
I've ever really felt that way.
No?
I've felt like don't look at anybody or
Oh.
they'll perceive you,
No, there
you
are
know.
sometimes like just now I was walking Hank and someone walked by and I was like, he looks really cool. I feel like he's looks really cool, but also like not in a way where we wouldn't run in the same circles. And I was like, I'm gonna say something to him. I feel like we would like maybe connect. And he had very fluffy hair. So I said, your hair looks really
The
good
dog
today.
or the
The
person?
person.
Oh, the
I
person.
said, you have really, I like your hair. It's very fluffy. And then he went, thank you. That was what I was going for. And I went, "Oh, well, we are going to be friends. And then I decided, don't worry. He didn't know that, but I decided. Um, and so then we walked past each other because I just did like the drive-by compliment. I didn't want to overwhelm him. I just said, your hair looks very fluffy today. And then when we were doing the loop and I passed him again and I went, your hair still looks fluffy. Don't worry. And he went, your hair looks fluffy too. And then we stopped and talked for like 10 minutes. It's lovely.
Oh, whoa. Wow. Meet cute indeed.
So sometimes I force the narrative and I'm fine with that.
Do you have any idea? I am like sweating. My heart, my pulse
Why?
is racing.
Oh,
'Cause that
social
just-
anxiety?
Yeah, that just is like, oh God, no. Like, oh God, no! Don't speak to me ever, anybody.
Sometimes,
No, I mean,
sometimes I just
a
decide
compliment
I
is
want to
nice. Like,
be a
if somebody-
friend, but sometimes I just
if
decide.
somebody said something nice to me, that's great. I'm not saying like don't say something to me. I'm just saying as you, I can't. I'm in awe of your social bandwidth. I think like if I'm walking
thanks.
outside, I just hope and pray I don't see a soul to speak to because I'm so tired and I'm so
Well,
like.
what if someone like me walked by and was like, I really dig your fish shirt. That's fucking crazy. I love that. When you
that
like,
would be very nice. Yeah.
and then we walk past each other
yes.
again, and then I go, don't worry, your fish shirt's still looking really cool.
You know, that would be nice. And I feel like if it were like we clearly had a similar vibe, and that has happened because like, but it's usually like people are like, oh, I knew you lived in the area. I listen to your podcast and we go to the same coffee shop kind of thing, you know, so it kind of sets up that meeting.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess if I were on like no, and I'm not opposed to people saying hi. I think for me, I just get anxious because I'm like, I think I would overthink that to hell and then like make it really weird and then make them think I was like hitting on that. I don't know. I start spinning out like, I think it needs to happen more organically where I'm not instigating the scenario because it'll probably go sideways.
Yeah, I don't mind being the instigator.
I know that about you. I do.
And also that's why I appreciate the drive-by compliment because if it's weird, you're already walking away. So who cares?
Fair point. And then you meet each other again in a loop.
Yeah, then it's awkward. Then
Say,
you're
you
like,
know what? Fuck you, actually.
It's like I can see him walking closer. No, I
You're
did.
like, I've been ruminating on this, and I'm actually really pissed off.
I did have to have the confidence to just go up to a random man and go, I really like your hair today. It's very fluffy. Because what if that was what he was not looking for, you know?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're telling me this, my pulse is racing. I'm like, you're just going up to people complimenting their hair. But like, complimenting it in a specific way, which is nice. But also, like, yeah, what if he's like, oh, I tried to unfrizz it all morning, you know? Like... But I guess you can usually read the vibe. Like, you're not, like, going to say that to somebody
I would
who
have
clearly
also
has-
just leaned on the fact that, like, I have fluffy hair, and I'd be like, oh, talent sees talent, something like that. Like, I would have made up some like stupid joke.
Oh, it's just some witty, quirky one-liner. Yeah, well, this is why I'm not like meant to be in my own Harry Met Sally situation. I'm just meant to like drunkenly meet somebody and then like text them for a while and be like, I guess we're friends now, or
That's lovely.
whatever. And now married also.
Yeah, great. See, everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Isn't that nice?
Anyway, I don't know how we got here, but
well, I can tell you why I drink, which is that
Sure.
Right, just to set Segu right out of that.
Mhm.
Remember when you said,
Oh,
it looks like it's supposed to say segue, but it says Segu.
I want you to know that by saying Segu and me,
I
obviously I know what's happening
But we
here.
never talk about it in more detail. So I thought,
I'll
why
never
not
shake
just
that.
give it a little sprinkle
Seg-
of reminder.
Segu will be the last word that fades from my existence when I
Besides
die. Besides wonton. I still think about that. 28 years.
Okay, because sometimes people are like, what is lemon or whatever? And like those are easy to find out now on Reddit. But sometimes people ask questions that we don't like really like Breaking Into Wallace, where we talked about it like once and then just reference it. But if in case you'd ever listened to early episodes, you're really missing out, because M was reading the word wanton, like he was a wanton man, and M said, what is a wanton man?
I thought he sold wontons. Thought he was like
He
the
was a
wonton
man.
like the guy at the wonton cart. You know how we all have one of those.
God. And it was in that same room, I remember. So it must have been the same year. You were like on a roll that year, I guess.
Yeah, and
'cause that was
Segu-
also the year of Segu.
I never knew Segway was spelled
To be
Segu.
fair, you worked. Your earliest attachment to the word was via the branded.
Yeah, it was a
motorized
Segway tour guide. I
scooters.
just thought, oh, that's how it's spelled.
Precisely.
I had no idea
Yeah.
it was any other way. Wow, I love this game. Humbling M left and right.
No, I'm sorry. I said Segu, and then I went, wait, this is how it all started when you said it 6 years ago? Like, I don't want it to become, Christine, that's not a word,
You know what hurts is I'm trying to think of something to like banter back with you about something you've done stupid, and I can't think of
so
anything.
many stupid.
Remember
oh,
when you
here
fell asleep while we were
Okay.
recording an episode?
First of all, you didn't even finish the sentence nor take a breath before you suddenly had the inspiration. Okay,
It's easily my
the
favorite.
fucking angel smiled upon you with that one. Okay, and then
It's
also
my favorite
one
thing
time
you've ever done.
I said the jig or something's up, and you got all.
No, you
and
got
then
away with it because now I don't know what the right one is. so
Okay,
you
well
still
then
win.
also I got away with the one that said had a beef or had beef, because then
didn't.
everybody got into an argument. Yeah, I did,
You
because
didn't get away with that. No, you're wrong. Let's
I
bring
did,
that
though.
back. It's had
No,
had beef, not
M-
had a beef.
No, it is it's both. It's had a beef. You can have a beef with someone.
I don't like what you're saying to me.
And remember when I said it and I wasn't sure? Now, the number of people who have sent us, tagged us, Merriam-Webster dictionary defines.
I've magically forgotten everything they ever said to me. It's had beef and that's it. As far as I know. I
Oh.
can't tolerate the notion of anything else. Actually,
Some people just reach their limit of being able to grow and like learn.
go
And
back to sleep,
sometimes-
Christine.
Okay. Today, Leona said, we were in the car and I said, she said, I want to listen to Elmo songs. So I was like listening to Elmo songs. And then I said, do you want me to turn up the volume? And she said, I'm sleeping. And I said, and I looked around and she was going like this.
Oh,
And I was like, what the fuck? And I started laughing and she's like, I'm sleeping. This is how I sleep. And I said, that's actually not how you sleep. And she goes, you're right. I sleep with my eyes open.
what a psychopath! I'm so sorry. Like your kid is going to have a lot to tell you about one day when she can like recall what is going on right now.
It's really startling. But she says, I don't close my eyes when I sleep. And I'm like, okay, you weirdo. Anyway.
I love that for her, but also like I don't want to sleep over in a room next to her because I think she would like I'd find her standing in the corner smiling at night.
Well, the
you know?
thing is that I watch her on the camera and she's literally sleeping with her eyes closed in a peaceful position. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm sitting here in fear, wondering if she'll wander. Like, I
Like
can
she's not
see her.
sitting upright and staring blankly at the wall.
No, because like I usually am the one doing things like that, and so I would notice if I glanced over and she and I were both, simultaneously. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying so far she's been pretty chill. So I don't know what the deal is, but I think think it's her way to avoid dream. She always says she doesn't dream and she doesn't sleep. She sleeps with her eyes open. It's like the weirdest thing.
I wonder if she's
don't know.
scared of dreams.
I think she's avoidant. I think she's avoiding it because she doesn't want to talk about it, which is kind of how I was as a kid. And I always thought it was because something happened. But now I'm like, maybe it's just she has a similar, like, scared, like.
Or maybe she just can't understand why she's in other places and you're not there or something, you know?
I know, but usually she's so imaginative and, like, wants to pretend we're on Cattern and, like, you know, has all these, like, crazy ideas and wants to be other people. And, you know, so I'm like, it's just when it comes to that, she's so adamant that I'm like,
Interesting.
I mean, okay. So I'm wondering if that'll someday turn into something. But I'm sorry. That was such a sidebar. I just meant to say that the reason I drink, going off of what we were talking about with like making friends, is that two of my close friends here in Cincinnati, Liz and Izzy, have both told me they are expecting little girls to be born the week of Leona's birthday.
Precious.
And they're going to be, of course, 4 years younger. But I'm like, oh my God, Leona's going to be their babysitter.
That'll
That's
at
so
least be like nice for her to like
cute.
interact with babies. How often does she do
I
that?
know. And now I have mom friends. I had a few. Now the numbers are growing.
I know.
Parent friends, I'll say, because I don't have many parent friends. A lot of them are Blaze's friends. Even the women, a lot of them are Blaze's friends. And so for me, it's like I feel like parent friends are hard to come by in your natural circle. If you are of a group of people that aren't like in that space yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
my friends just aren't there. So my friends just happen to not be parents. But it's happening slowly. Slowly.
As you make more friends like you, I make less friends like me though.
Friends.
Like that's
but these
nice.
are old friends. They're becoming more like me. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Liz is my brother's friend from high school. Like we've been close for years, and she got married, and now she's having a little baby.
Well, I was gonna say I was just having this conversation with one of my other child-free friends where we were saying like, does it feel like everyone's a parent all of a sudden? Like I don't know what happened, but in my perspective of everything, like it's funny how your perspective is like, oh, like everyone's
Nobody
finally
has
having kids. In my mind, I'm like, where are the child-free people? Like everyone all of a sudden has children. I think it's because everyone from my childhood now, I think there's only like two left in my friend group that don't have kids.
Everyone from my high school, I feel like, ended up having kids, but it's a lot of people that, well, not even that actually. No, a lot. I mean, your friends are like your friends. My friends are like you, my brother, Eva, Renee, like all these people are not even in a space where they would consider having a child, right? So it's like my very close inner circle is just comprised mostly, even within my family, of people who, and my sister and all that. But yeah, so
that's got to be nice though that you can finally talk about that stuff with someone who'll get it. And
it's also something where I was never gonna like pressure them to ask or want, you know, like if they told me fine, but I wasn't sure if they ever were, you know, interested in having kids. So I was very excited. And like I love a little October, you know, I love my little October babies.
I know, I do too.
I know.
But no, that's got to be nice to now have someone to like talk to about the stuff that like won't just. Like you could like talk to me about it, but I don't get it, you know?
No, yeah. Well, and I think part of it too, I feel excited that I can be of any sort of help because my friend Izzy is in the same boat as me where she says, she's like in a band. She's very like rock and roll. And she's like, she's like, she says her sister has kids, but like she's totally out of her element, which is kind of how I was. And I feel like I had to rely on the internet, which was terrifying. And then my mother, which was even more terrifying, no offense. But then, so now to be able to be like, oh, hey, yeah, there's this weird thing, or like, oh, don't worry, that's just something, or explain, you know, things that happened, or tell my story. I don't know. It just feels helpful to have somebody to connect with and like share tips and help and know, you know, what they need and feel like I can be there for them. So
yeah, no, that's awesome.
It's an exciting feeling. But I said that only because you were saying, oh, meeting friends, and I'm like, finally I have some friends that will have kids, so at least I can have quote unquote those mom friends built in, even if daycare drop off doesn't go quite as planned, even if everyone at daycare is cooler than me.
No, I'm very happy for you. Kids. That's got to be nice to just have people in your circle that like are more aligned with whatever you're doing, you know?
I'm used to being the one in all the friend groups who's like, shit, I can't do that night. We don't have a babysitter. You know, like I'm the one usually who's like kind of that way. So yeah, it's kind of nice to feel the pressures off a little bit. Like,
yeah, totally.
I'm not the only one with the
Although expect like you said, a lot of calls of people being like, "What do I do?" So
yeah, I've gotten some texts, and I'm like, "Listen, I'm all about a voice memo. I'll voice memo you all day."
Nice. Nice.
all day.
Oh, not all
What do
night
you
because I'm
drink?
sleeping.
Because everyone's having babies. Sorry. Sorry
Why do
about
I drink? Man, I don't know. I don't know why I drink. I guess
I gave about 82 reasons if you want to pick any of them. I'm
well,
sure even some of the happy ones were probably reasons to drink for you.
I was gonna say that my mom is coming into town next week, and so
Did I know that? Oh, yes, I did know that. Maybe.
I don't know.
That would be fun.
So she's coming into town, which I'm excited that she'll be here, but this will be my first time kind of going in and out multiple times and like being more spontaneous, like with this fucking guy over here with the 4 legs.
With the 4-letter word that shall not be named.
I'm nervous about like breaking his routine and like what he's gonna do, especially since he's like in his like destructive like self separation
Era.
anxiety space. Yeah. So I'm kind of panicking about just like having to plan ahead, which I've never had to do before because I'm used to waking up whenever I want and then leaving and not coming back if I don't want to.
Wow.
So
yeah. I'm so glad some of my friends are having kids because, man.
I know. Well, see, that's why if I know you are totally fine to hear me complain about this stuff, but I'm also like wildly aware that I'm just learning how to handle a dog, and you're like been there, done that with
a
all
lot of
these
people,
living creatures.
No, I don't mean like that, but it's kind of like, it's a funny thing to watch people, because now you're like, oh shit, now I have this dog, and I'm like, oh, I remember how that
I know.
first step, the slippery slope of bringing in
living creatures.
Living beings.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't like having to adjust fun. I don't like doing it, and so
Having to adjust fun, is that what you said?
you know what I mean? Like I just want to be able to like get up and go, but now I'm like thinking like this is the first time that my mom's gonna be here where I might have to like be that person who's like I have to go home
But
and
is
walk
she
the
the
dog
type-
in the middle of the day, you know? Like I just
But is she the type who can just like hang out, or like do you
she
feel
will,
like you
but
have
I
to go
still like
do
just want to
stuff?
like not have to worry about that, and like I don't want like her
Yeah.
to like she'll be accommodating, but like I don't even want her to have to deal with being accommodating. I just want to like go out and do stuff with her and
Is
not
it
have
just
to worry
her?
about someone else. I'm sure Tom will also be on his way over.
On
they're-
his way. He's just like a hitch a ride
they're
in his
a-
Tommy Bahama. Yeah, I can see it.
they're quite a package deal. So I
They
pretty much
really are. Like, you never really know if they're there, but they always appear all of a sudden.
I
It's like,
assume
well,
wherever
just
my
Linda's
mom is,
here,
he
and then
is.
Tom
So
just shows up. Yeah.
no, so I like there are things like I want to take the I just it always irritated me as someone who didn't have a dog and didn't get it. Like the people who would say like, "Oh, I have to leave early to go walk my dog." Like it would always like cuz I didn't have a dog. I didn't understand like the like I knew you have to go like take care of a dog, but I was like, "Man, like doesn't that get annoying? Like how are you saying that's like so like it's so just
it's
normalized?"
a great way out of plans, Em. A lot of times people say it. It's true, but it's also like, oh, good. Like, it's been now I have an easy way to say, okay, bye, everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean I get that now, but I also know if I was hanging out with somebody and I was like, "Let's go to lunch and a movie," and they're like, "Oh, if I add up the hours, that's like a
Oh,
lot
sure,
of time."
yeah.
Like things like that, and I was always like, "Man, like I feel like I have to like accommodate this like whole dog that doesn't even mind to hang out
no,
with you."
I get that. Yeah.
And
That's a huge adjustment. It's a huge adjustment.
so now that I'm in that, I have
Well,
like
especially, I mean, I'm lucky because Blaze usually handles the pets. Like, I don't even think about it. So I'm thinking now, like, you're right. Like, well, and especially if are you hosting? You're just
Yeah.
hosting alone, right? Like, because Al's not back yet. So, like, then you're responsible now for house
Well,
guests and
it's also like when they're in town, like I want to pack in as much as I can with them, but now I have to like there's gonna be so many times where like, well, let's schedule it so that way we're
Mm,
closer to home at a certain time so I can walk him and it will be as efficient and as quick as possible so we can get back out and keep doing things. And
right.
it becomes like a little bit of an ordeal versus like, oh, let's end up in Santa Monica all day long. And it's like now, well, my dog has to pee. Like, it's just like,
I think
it's just very
that's so
annoying to get used to.
Interesting, because I think maybe this is true for other people too, but definitely I think for me, I think maybe I built the life around what I think we all do, but try to build a life around what we're comfortable with. Like, I would never want to end up all day in Santa. I don't like the whimsy and spontaneity of that. Like, I would
Yeah.
be like, I would like a 2-hour window, and I know I get to go home afterward. I'm just such an introvert. I can't just be out all day for I mean, I could in high school, like when I was just wandering and had like no responsibilities. But I think nowadays I'm like, I need to go home and like refill my batteries. So I think like the dog thing was an adjustment for sure, especially when it came to like if I had like a day job. But also, I think it was also like it just fit my routine.
Yeah.
So that's different, I think, right? Like yours is a much more maybe and I'm sure there was a lot of disruption. Like, you know, with travel, it's so much harder. And Blaze and I couldn't just like drive north for an hour and like stay there to do like antiquing all day, like stuff like that. I feel is different. But yeah, like your comfort level is much more kind of go and
yeah, this is why I didn't want a dog. So, like, especially like that's why we waited for so long
you have to
get a
spell
dog.
that out. He can hear you.
No, he knows.
It's called emotional trauma.
I mean, I did want a dog, but and I'm happy I have him now, and I'm obviously gonna make it work. But I was
I'm obviously
I am. I'm not
gonna
gonna like bitch him, but like
we're in counseling. We're gonna make it work.
But like I held off for so long because I was at least acutely aware of the shift in my lifestyle, and I didn't want to do that. So this is just one of those like puppy blues situations where I'm like, I'm happy you're here, but man, I really would rather just go to Santa Monica all day.
Does WAG not work, or like Rover Walks? I mean,
I mean, I'm gonna probably find somebody. Like, I'll find a solution to it where I'm accommodated as best as possible.
Because people like who go out for work all day are gone like, you know, 10 hours,
Yeah.
like, and just do dog walk or find somebody. I mean, when Allison gets home, I figure you'll probably be like, oh shit, this is so much easier.
I'll just hand her the dog and go, my turn. I'm gonna be gone for several months. No,
when does that start? When does the changing of the guard happen?
It was August, and now I think it's October.
October?
Yeah.
Why?
It just keeps getting extended. I mean, it's not her fault. It just keeps happening.
Where is she just gonna stay there or go somewhere else?
No, she's still there.
Oh, okay.
No,
sometimes
she might as well.
I have to check.
That's a fair question. She could be like in Portugal with the baby. I don't know.
Sometimes you and I find out the same day that she's going to the Amazon rainforest, and I go, sure.
And some people might think that's like weird, but I love that about her. I just not when all of a sudden I have to watch this stupid dog.
I don't, because suddenly she comes back and goes, wow, I almost died 16 times in the Amazon. And I said, I would have fucking told you that.
It's shocking what she is capable of doing. And
so
moves in silence with it too.
But now she's just like with babies?
Yeah, she's been with the baby since April. Yeah.
And so she wants to stay with the baby. Oh, they love each other.
They do love each other. Well,
remember when you were like, where are all the child free people now? Since like, actually, I would rather be with this baby.
Even my own girlfriend is with a baby right now.
Yikes.
No, they seem to be getting along. There's some delay with like the daycare or something, so Allison's just gonna stay and keep.
Oh, I see. Because
nannying.
That does make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, I know I like constantly am like poo-pooing on this dog, but the whole point of it, and that's why I drink, is where we come here and like vent the worst of ourselves. So that's me venting the worst
of ourselves.
I promise I do love him. It's just like, if you're asking why I drink this week, it's because he's a headache, and he's constantly a headache, because having a dog is more of a headache than not having a dog. So
this is true.
That's
what they say.
I love him, and he's very sweet, and we get along just fine, but not when I want to go do something and he needs to be prioritized. I don't feel like prioritizing him sometimes. Whoops.
Oh my God, you'd be so perfect on Teen Mom, though. You know, when they're
I feel like a teen mom. I just got this stupid baby. My deadbeat baby daddy left.
Literally, you're like put him in a laundry basket and be like, Mom, can you take care of this baby? I want to go to the club.
I would love to put Hank in a laundry basket and make him somebody else's problem.
Before I made these abrupt lifestyle changes, I was like, I got to be somewhere where some lady, my mother, will just show up if I need her to. Like, I was not about to have a baby in
No, it totally
LA.
makes sense. I totally get it now.
Oh my God.
And this is a dog. Like, I'm aware they're apples and oranges, but like just a dog, I'm like, I should have moved to Virginia so my mom could watch him all the time.
I mean, maybe she'll move in now.
I think that's what's happening. She's gonna be like, so Allison's gone until October. You say, huh? As she kicks her shoes
actually,
off.
now she knows. Oh boy.
And
Tom's like, well, we're a package deal, and he unpacks his Tommy Bahama duffel bag.
Yeah. No,
wait. I need a drink. I'm so sorry. I'm having one of those weeks where I'm like, I'm pretty sure that okay, I saw a car crash yesterday in front of me, and I had to call 911, and like, it happened at like 8:30 in the morning, and then I like went to therapy and I forgot to mention it, and then like I kind of mentioned like, oh, I also saw this guy almost die today, and like
Everyone's
um
alive?
yeah, he was like taken away and on a stretcher, but he was moving, and there
Okay.
was not as but like it was so scary because the car hit the concrete just out of nowhere, like swerved, hit the concrete. I don't know if he passed out or something. And then instead of hitting the brake, like the brake lights weren't going on, so I knew, so it just kept like smashing over and over and over. And
Oh.
I just saw this guy like kind of I
Like
just
he
saw like
might
the
have had like a
head.
heart attack while driving or something.
He was fine. He was like up and talking,
Okay.
so I don't think he was unconscious. He was not unconscious when they came, but I was in my car, and guess what, Em? I had left my phone at home for the first time
Girl.
ever since dropping Leona off at preschool. I'd left my phone at home,
Oh, Christine.
and I didn't know what to do, but I have this emergency thing, and
Oh,
I thank God. I
yeah.
mean, otherwise I would have had to flag somebody over because I was the only one who stopped. And then so I hit the button, and thank God somebody actually answered, because I don't know.
It always feels like a
Um,
scam. I'm like, no one's gonna answer that thing.
I'm like, are they going to charge me $400 for that? I don't know.
It does feel
Uh,
like going on the internet on an
Like,
old
remember
phone.
Yes, it does. Where the world, and you're like, hang up before the World Wide Web like completes its spin. Yeah. Anyway, point being, I've had a very dysregulating few days, and I think like I have really struggled to ground myself. And so sometimes I just shout, I need a drink, and it's probably not appropriate, but hey, we're on, and that's why we drink right now.
It's absolutely appropriate right now.
Oh, sometimes I need a drink to feel less manic. I know that doesn't make sense, but
I get that.
it is a depressant, I guess. So
Do you have? I've been asking everybody this.
depression? Yes.
Well, girl, I didn't have to ask that.
Well, babe.
I was gonna say I've been asking everyone at the dog park. What is your?
You've been asking everyone you meet, apparently, because you're just striking up fluffy haired.
Mr. Fluffy Hair is
friendships.
getting this question tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
This feels like Mr. Glitter Shoes.
Mr. Glitter Shoes. What is your favorite mocktail these days? I feel like, or cocktail these days. Sorry, me mocktail.
I was like, before anyone starts commenting, I am not pregnant. What are my favorite cocktails? Oh, listen, I'm a diehard Negroni fan. I love a Negroni, but I also love an Aperol Spritz. I'm into a Spritz.
Nice.
Aperol Spritz, yeah. Why do you ask?
Well, I asked because the last time my mom was in town, she went to the bathroom and it was just me, Allison, and Tom, and somehow we started placing bets on what my mom's favorite drink is because we all thought it was a different thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because I remember, I mean, I obviously know her the longest out of any of them, and I was like, she had a really weird Cosmo phase for a while back when.
That's the most Linda drink I've ever heard of, because my stepmother also loves a Cosmo.
And then
Occasionally an Appletini, but Cosmo was like it.
And then I said something else, which is the one I bet it currently was. I bet it was something like a rum and Coke or something, because she used to drink that all the time when I was younger. And then Tom, first of all, they need to get divorced because his guess was like whiskey or something. I was like, what the hell?
But he's such a fucking like, he's like such an off, what do you call it? Like he just like shows up and you're like, what are you doing here?
I was like, why
what
did
are you saying this for?
He
You're
said whiskey.
full of nonsense.
And I was like, I know you're wrong. Like,
are you
that one's
kidding me?
But he was so confident about it. And so I was like, okay, let's all place bets. So Allison guessed Cosmo. I guessed the rum and Coke, and he guessed whiskey, and he didn't win. Surprise. But when she came back from the bathroom, you're like, what's your favorite cocktail? If you get one last cocktail. And she's like,
you're all
oh,
arguing. Yeah, about her.
She loves. Her ego had to be sky high. As soon as she left, we were all fighting over her.
She actually left to go pee just so you had a moment to talk about her. Yeah.
Anyway, Cosmo's her answer. But then ever since then, I've been asking everyone, like, maybe I don't know this, but what's your favorite cocktail?
Cosmo's the most stepmom. Well, I mean, I always think of my stepmom and your mom very similar. April 4th is my stepmom's birthday. Yours is April 5th, right? Second, sorry. 2nd and 4th. They're both these intense, loud Aries who drink a lot. And Cosmo is where Capri's drink Cosmos. Like the whole 9 yards, they really do kind of have a lot in common. So that doesn't surprise me.
I wrote it down. So in case you would like to have yourself a Linda later, since you apparently need a drink. A Cosmo with orange vodka and Contro instead of triple sec.
Okay. Okay. I thought for a moment I was going to be so afraid
Oh,
because I remember the last time she visited, and you mentioned that Allison had to kind of remark on the nature of the beverages Linda was making for everybody as bartender, and apparently there was Splenda in one of the cocktails
yeah.
instead
That
of
was
sugar, and
that was
I really run a high risk of
that was
not being happy
a
about that.
Tom move.
That was a Tom. He is. What is the word? He's so erratic. He's just coming at us from any angle. He's like whiskey, but let's put Splenda in it. That's what Michael Scott does in The Office. Like, what are we doing?
We met up with my parents. They were in California, so we drove over to them, and they wanted to go have a campfire and like bring drinks out. And Tom was like, "Oh, I'm making a whole batch." And then Alice took us over and went, "This has like sweet and low or something in it, like split stevia." And she was like, why would you put this in a drink?" But I guess they love it. He drank it up. He loves it.
Like if you're on like a sugar-free diet for like medical reasons, especially, or for if you like that, fine. I'm like allergic to that. It closes my throat up, but also to me, it tastes vile. So
I think
I know a lot of people like prefer Diet Coke, etc. To me, like all vile. But
Allison took it like a champ. But I remember her making a face and going, "I was not aware. Had I known stevia would be an ingredient, I would have passed." So,
oh my word in heaven.
whatever. She the whole point was that she was drinking whiskey with my parents, and she did it. So good for her.
And your mom was drinking whiskey, her favorite drink.
That's why. That must be why. Maybe he drinks
Maybe
a lot of whiskey.
when they pour sweet and low in it, she's like, now I like it. It's like a Diet Coke now. I like it.
Maybe.
She does like a Diet Coke, right?
She does. She actually, I
Big
think
Diet Coke girl.
she was like one of those like Diet Coke
So was my stepmother.
people.
With a straw, I'm telling you, don't get it in their teeth. Oh my God.
Back when there was Diet Coke with lemon and Diet Coke with lime,
Oh.
that was
Yep.
the situation.
Same difference.
Do you know what my cocktail would be if I drank?
Yes. A Miami Vice.
Fun. Yes, you're right. Okay.
You know what?
What?
I am like Tatwat. Do you know who Tatwat is?
Earthquake.
Holy fuck.
You're okay, Hinkies. Okay, for now we're okay.
I knew something was afoot.
I think we're okay. It was just
I felt the seismological shift. Hank, are you okay? Is he freaking out?
He's okay.
Every time your laptop moves now, I'm like, is it aftershock?
Sorry, I was holding on to the table because I was like getting ready.
Emma, are you okay? Is everybody okay?
We're fine. Well, I'm more nervous because it's like probably part of that like Hawaii tsunami
okay,
thing.
well that's why I like literally stopped breathing.
And I just watched a video about like the big one, like maybe coming like today, and I was like,
I watch
God.
those every day of my life, and I've been trying to tell you people, all of you, get out of there, man. Not all of you. Some of you can stay. Some of you gotta get out of there. Come on.
Sorry, what did you say about Miami Vices?
I was saying that I'm a German detective named Tatwat.
I was like, please God, bring an earthquake, get me out of here.
No, God was like, oh, babe, I'm way ahead of you. Here we go. Here goes the tsunami. Sorry. Anyway, I remembered it was a Miami Vice, but I didn't remember it until this moment because recently at a Beach Too Sandy show, I ordered a Miami Vice and I went, why do I know whose drink is this? And I was like, is it? And I couldn't really put it together. And just now you asked, and I went, all the pieces. Oh, that's French. All the pieces. I don't know how to do it. All the pieces, they're all connecting. The puzzle pieces fit together. I know that your favorite drink would be a Miami Vice, but I was confused because I'm like, Em doesn't drink. But then I get it now. It would be.
For a Miami Vice, I sure would.
It was
delicious.
tasty. It was tasty.
Thank you. I'm glad you had one for me because
It's highly alcoholic.
Good.
Highly.
Good. Remember when
Can
we
I go get a
talked
drink now?
for 50 minutes? Yeah, you should go get a drink because we haven't even
I'm
started.
so upset about the earthquake. You know, I am so concerned
I
about
like how
all
I
of you.
said earthquake like Hank was going to save my life after I just talked shit about him for 20 minutes.
No, you said earthquake like the time you said we're at mile marker 141. Like you literally handled it in the way that I behave, like where I go silent because I'm like, brain activate, you know, like nervous system shut down, brain activate, right? It's like this whole like, okay, problem solve. And you literally said earthquake, and I went, oh my God. And then we were just completely silent.
As if all of the future listeners hearing this would solve it for me. Yeah, just announced it.
Oh my Christ.
That would have been crazy if that was my last word, though, and everyone witnessed my death, huh? Go get a drink.
Nobody would have witnessed it except me, Em, and the police
No,
or somebody.
Jack would have edited it tastefully. It would have been fine.
I would have been so traumatized. We probably wouldn't have even saved the footage, and everyone would have had to just listen to me talk about it for the rest of my life.
The rubble would have fallen down on me, and then you'd hear us talk about your quince linen pants like an asshole.
Do I have an audience yet? I want to talk about my fashion sense.
Just the last thing you hear is me going, 10% off at promo code drink.
Hank! Yeah. Hank, run for your life. Save yourself. Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's not a joke, Em. I'm really worried about this fucking earthquake thing.
I looked it up. It was a 4.3, apparently.
I need a drink.
Okay. See ya.
Breaking. Hello. Thank you for making the sound effect so I can tell my breaking news story. I made HelloFresh last night, and it was this pecan encrusted chicken and with honey Dijon sauce. I have to tell you, Emmethy, it was so delightful that Blaze and Leona were on the way home, and I set their plates out, and then I ate mine at the kitchen counter, and they walked in, and mine was gone, and I had to sit there and watch Blaze eat his. But it was so delicious, and really easy to make, and I felt like a true chef.
HelloFresh makes it easier to fit quick home-cooked meals into your schedule every week by curating delicious recipes right to your door, like sun-dried tomato grilled cheese sandos, as well as over 100 seasonal snacks, sides, treats. I really haven't had anything from Fresh that isn't delicious.
Make your summer enjoyable and delicious by signing up for HelloFresh at hellofresh.com/drink10fm and get 10 free meals with a free item for life.
That's hellofresh.com/drink10fm for 10 free meals and a free item in every box. hellofresh.com/drink10fm.
One per box with an active subscription. Free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan.
Christine, have there ever been times in your life where you needed to feel better?
No, I'm riding a high that nobody could ever take down. No, that's not true. I am always seeking more peace of mind, Em. Thank you for asking.
I am constantly under stress, discomfort, and I always need a little relaxation. I'm constantly sleepless. I felt like a damsel in distress. And then cornbread came along. So
I know what you're thinking. Well, everyone loves cornbread. Well, everyone's going to love this cornbread too, because it's actually Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. They are made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, just needing a little relaxation. I, the other day, was feeling really silly because it was late and I couldn't sleep. My insomnia kicked in and I thought, what should I do? And I remembered, of course, on my sink there, I have my CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp. And I took one. I read a few pages of the most boring book I could find in my bookshelf, and I was out like a light.
Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies are formulated to help relieve all of the listed as above issues. And all products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. So you don't have to worry about what's going in your system. Just know you're going to feel A-okay afterwards.
You're going to feel okay right now. And that's why We Drink listeners can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/drink and use code DRINK at checkout.
That's cornbreadhemp.com/drink and use code DRINK. Christine, I found first of all, how was your pee? Was it lovely?
I wasn't peeing. I was getting my much
That's
needed
right.
drink.
I had to pee. That's what happened there.
Oh, did you pee?
No. I'm going to hold it.
I was like, you didn't leave. I was gone for 5 seconds. Did you pee in your pants?
I thought about peeing.
If you said yes, I was going to go, oh, dear.
Oh, my. Oh, no.
Paper towels.
No, I'm going to save it for intermission.
Okay, that'll be your reward. Okay.
I
I
fear
know.
that is what's happening.
I'm aware. As I said it, I said I shouldn't joke too close to the sun.
Yeah,
and here
that
I
was
am.
a really personal thing for you to make fun
That
of,
was a little
actually.
too far, and I do apologize. I cannot believe we've been here an hour.
Isn't that silly? And we started an hour late. Tell your family I'm sorry, but you're with me for the day.
Bye bye. I live here now.
Okay. I think you're gonna like this one because it's really fucking weird.
Ooh.
And while I was doing the notes, I was like, this is silly.
Can I tell you the one I brought today is one of the weirdest ones I've ever done?
In a bad way though.
No, and
Ooh,
like a interesting way. I mean, it's crime, but it's a really interesting case.
Love that.
And also, I'm very intrigued because I wonder. Well, for me, it was because we were recording a lot of episodes pretty close together. So I was like, I'm going to do my own research on something separately while Saoirse works on like other upcoming topics. So I went kind of
Rogue.
on my own weird tangent. Rogue. I went rogue. Yeah. Is that what you did?
I feel like every weekend for me is a little rogue.
That's true. I was going to say, I don't even know what to begin to expect when you say this is a weird one.
Usually when I
Or
go
an
rogue,
interesting one.
it's like a 101 concept or a cryptid.
You like find something by accident on the internet and yeah.
And that's what happened here.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, this is an odd one, so I encourage your banter. I'm very glad you're drinking. So this is
Hey, can I say something? I am too.
beautiful. This is called, it's a cryptid, Sam the Sandown Clown. Or he's also known as Sam of All Colors.
I know Sam the Sandown Clown.
How do you know him?
Guess.
Peachy Sandy. I don't know.
No.
You met him?
Good guess.
Are you
Yeah, he's a close personal friend.
Are you the little girl in this
We
story?
dated back in Astonishing Legends, of course. They always
Man,
beat you to it. I'm sorry.
they
but
ruin
honestly,
everything.
They did it in like they did it like 4 years ago. I almost actually I think they did it like 10 years ago, and I didn't listen to it for many years because I was like, that sounds, this is so fucked up. But I was like, that sounds dumb. Like that sounds made up.
It does sound dumb.
And then I listened to it, and I remember being intrigued. I barely remember a single thing.
Even if you're
And they
lying, I
reference
appreciate it.
No, they reference it quite a lot, and all I remember is thinking it sounded like it.
Yeah. A lot
That's
of
like
the articles I
as-
read had like a pun at the end about
Oh,
it.
okay. So that was basically, but that's basically the only kind of connection I remember at
Yeah.
all. Like
Okay.
I don't think I really paid attention. I think that was one of the episodes I was like, I don't want to listen. Like I am not that interested in it. I think I realized during it, like, oh, this is a lot weirder than I thought it was going to be.
The backtracking is
don't-
crazy, but my confidence is up now that I have you're implying a fresh slate that is your brain.
Because I yeah, it's sort of that excitement of I know that one,
Mhm.
but like don't ask me to speak on it. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel about a few cases I'm waiting for you to
Yes.
cover. I know nothing about them, but I know that it will
This
be
is not like a
fascinating.
Duggars situation, I promise. Okay, like
Right. This okay. Well, I had never heard of this fella. And as I was reading it, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I know him. I scream into the microphone like a really, really, really insane person.
This is an odd one, and this is mainly for silly purposes. If you were hoping to get scared this week by my story, that's not really gonna happen. You're just gonna sit back and enjoy.
Some people are very scared of clowns, and we've already said the word clown a few times.
Clown. Okay.
And also stay for my story at least because it's another weird one. Actually, if you're here after an hour of that nonsense, then like I can't imagine you're going anywhere no matter what because you're kind of locked in.
Unless you're
It's like-
duct taped to a chair right now, and we're all that
Right.
you have to entertain yourself with. I don't know why you're here, but I love you.
We're trying our best. And also, if you are all the way here, what was I gonna say?
That you have a tour called Beach Sandy that everyone should go see.
No. If you listen an hour in, I was gonna say a funny joke. I forget it. Oh well.
In another world, it landed and everyone's laughing.
That's probably why I was like so rattled from all the applause I got in that other timeline. You know. Stop laughing.
Sometimes I do really mean like things like that in my head, where I'm like, in another world, that fucking kills. You know.
Yeah,
It just
I mean,
helps.
really, it just like really does make you feel better.
It does. I'm like, that person's having a great date. Not me, but maybe them.
Not me. Must be nice.
But then there are other days where I'm having a great day and I'm like, oh, I feel bad for the other me's in other worlds. They're like not having as good of a day.
I know. I'm like, I came out on top, huh?
I know. Okay, so here's Sam the Sandown Clown. There's a fucking fly that wants to get in my goddamn eyeball.
I actually almost asked if there was a fly because I saw a black shape dart across the screen and I thought, oh my god, a ghost.
Even Hank, him and I are looking at each other like, do you fucking see this thing?
Do you know that Geo, out of all the animals in my house, 2 cats, 1 dog, he is almost 100% kill rate on on flies.
I wish he were here because right now I'm just strapped in
ceilings, and like he will literally just wait, and like he will eat them. He will just jump up and eat them. And the cats.
That was Hank trying to get it.
Maybe he's gonna be good at it, like Geo.
He never is, and also he won't eat them. He catch and releases.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Geo literally will just like be like, a snack. And you know how he's so, I've just figured it out. He's so devoted to food that to him, it's like, that's a treat.
He'll, dismember it and then let it suffer, but he won't eat it. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Like his favorite thing, he loves to eat lizards, but like only the tail part that falls off.
Gross.
Disgusting.
But Geo can't catch a lizard. He did catch a bird once. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry.
2 days ago, he caught a butterfly in his mouth, and then I know, and I was like, get it out of your mouth, and I could see the wings flapping in his mouth, and then he just went and opened his mouth, and the butterfly
out of
flew
a
at my
Pixar
face.
movie.
Yeah, just commit at this point. Anyway.
The anxiety that would have given me. I had such a fear of butterflies growing up because people would always say the oil on your fingers can kill them and they'll never fly again. And I was like way too sensitive to hear that shit.
Butterflies.
So then I would just sit there and go like, but now I've grown to really love them and appreciate them. And I've gotten actually in recent weeks like seen them everywhere.
Not me.
You know, it's
I'm glad
summer,
that they're over there.
Just in life, I feel like they've become part of my kind of current journey, but not yours.
I can't stand them. I don't want him to eat them, but I also can't stand
them.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this again. In 1973, we're in the Isle of Wight, and we're in a beach town there called Sandown.
I'm in my linen pants.
You're in your linen pants.
Fly as fuck.
On the cabana, drinking a martini.
Drinking a
Miami
Cosmo.
Vice.
Drinking a Miami Vice, right?
And so vacationing here on this little beach is a 7-year-old girl named Faye. I don't know if her name's actually Faye. That's the name that we have given her, though.
Okay.
There is also a boy around the same age as 7. We don't know his name. Would you like to give him a name?
I would love to. Johnny.
That of all the names?
Because I was thinking Faye, and I was like, what goes well with Faye? Because Faye is such a like unique name. Okay, fine. I'll try another
So you picked Mr. Americana Johnny?
You're literally
Johnny Appleseed?
Like, no wonder I like you. This is how my mom would respond when I was 3. And she said, pick a name. And I said that. And she goes, really? That's what you fucking pick?
Sigmund Freud just resurrected and died again hearing you say, no wonder you like me.
Yeah, that was me. I literally gave him some life for a moment there. I channeled.
I thought you were going to branch. You pick Leota for your daughter. You don't pick Johnny?
I mean, for some reason, sometimes like a classic name just hits. Okay, fine. How about Faye and Fanny? Is that better?
You know what?
Faye and Fatima?
What's
it's a boy.
What's the guy that Tutakus?
Excuse me?
The German guy you are.
What did you just call me? Oh, I'm Tatot. Okay, fine. How about Wolfgang? Is that better?
Okay, so he's fucking Johnny at this point. Okay, so
I told you it would be the best one. You had to circle all the way through.
There's Faye and Johnny.
Rolodex.
They're both around 7. And they're on the Isle of Wight hanging out together, vacationing. And while wandering around, as you do, the two of them hear this wailing siren sound. Similar to an ambulance, they say.
Okay.
And it won't stop. It's just the most annoying sound on earth.
Similar to an ambulance, right? Like, it's not like, oh, we heard an ambulance siren. It's like weird, something that's sort of like an ambulance.
100%. 100%.
Mm.
So they're just hearing it. It won't stop. They're by themselves, so I don't know if they could look around and see other people's take on this. But to them,
Right.
it's loud and annoying, and they don't know what to do. They go looking for this sound. So like, where the hell is this so we can unplug this thing? And the kids are looking. They travel for quite some time. They actually apparently travel over an entire golf course. They go through a marsh. They go through some hedges. They find themselves on a bridge. And the sound won't stop. Imagine walking a whole ass golf course and the sound won't stop. I would have lost my literal mind at some point by then.
This is the exact moment when you want to be able to say, "Hey, I got to go let my dog out." Sorry.
You're right.
You have a good time. I actually have other plans right now.
Speaking
Thanks.
of which, think of all of the dogs howling at this thing. If they can also hear
that
it.
must be annoying. But what if they can't hear that?
Mhm.
Hear it? Ooh, ah! What year was this again? Sorry.
73.
Okay.
So the sound won't end, and the kids are looking for it. They get to this bridge, and the first thing they see, they look over the bridge, be like, "Oh, what's that all about?" They see a hand under the bridge. It is attached to a body, but the first thing they see is this person's hand.
Bad part I mean, worst parts exist to see, but bad part.
Well, this hand had 3 fingers and was in a bright blue glove.
Way worse. Worst thing to see.
So it looked like
3 fingers?
So it
Like
looked like
fucking
this.
Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
yes. Wait, I can do that better. Oh, no.
It was actually way too good the first time, and I don't want to hear anymore.
Okay.
Thank you. Too close.
So it's 3 big old fingers and in a big bright blue glove. And the hand they see that, so that makes them look even closer, like, what the hell's down there? And surely enough, someone walks out from under the bridge, and they are watching him. He's standing by the water. He's holding this book, and this guy seems super clumsy. And
he has this glove. Does he have gloves on both
yes,
hands?
they both 3-fingered hands with blue gloves.
And he's holding a book.
He's holding a book.
What the fuck?
And he seems very clumsy is the best way to put it. He's holding this book. He's standing by the water. Eventually, he accidentally drops the book in the water. And the kids now watch him like trying to wade into the water and splashing around, trying to
So he's
get
like
this
the
book.
Three Stooges.
Kind of, yes. Hang
Okay.
on. Can you hear him?
Every now and then.
I'm going to see what he's doing. I'm sorry, because he's out of sorts.
Please stand by. We have to step away and go get wine. Answer the door.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So he drops the book in the water. He's wading around, like you said, like the Three Stooges.
Oh, I thought you meant Hank. I was like, he did what now? I was like, who gave him a book? Sorry.
Can't even imagine.
I gotta get back on. Okay, here we go.
So he's splashing around. He finally grabs his book. He looks obviously like a little flustered, probably embarrassed if he knows that somebody's watching.
I remember not a fucking millisecond of this, and it's really actually freaking me out already. Like, I'm already a little bit freaked out. This is
Really?
weird.
Okay.
It's weird and scary.
Welcome.
I guess I just believe children. Like, I don't go into it going, oh, it's a bunch of kids. I don't believe it. I just, like, I'm already freaked out by this.
Okay, well, I want you to pretend Leona's telling you the story, and then let's see where you stand at the end of this.
Okay, maybe. And then he had big blue face. No, but if she came home and was, like, genuinely afraid, I'd be like, something was up. Like, I don't know. You hear? Okay, we'll get into it. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
So he gets out of the water with his book, and he runs off, probably embarrassed. I would also run off.
Does he see them?
I don't know yet. But he
Okay.
runs off toward his house. They realize there's a hut nearby made of metal with
It's
no
the Mickey
windows.
Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. So
Stop. Okay, stop. Sorry, that was a really aggressive tone. I don't even use that with Leona. Wow. Woo. That's reserved for you, that tone.
Thank you.
Cut it out.
Finally, something just for me. So he runs off to his Mouseketeer Club, and
Jesus.
it's made of metal with no windows. So Mickey's got a secret.
Oh, shit. It's made of metal with no windows. Cool. Okay, spaceship. Got it.
So, P.S. When he ran away with his book, it might have been because he was like soggy from the water, but he ran in a really weird way.
Oh, no.
And the kids described him like a rabbit because his knees would hop up in the air every time he ran. So, boing, boing.
That's horrible. That's like Spring-Heeled Jack.
Yeah. Yeah. The kids were like, what the fuck did we just see? And they start wandering away.
Good.
And then they all of a sudden hear the figure come back out of the hut. And now they turn around, they see him, and he's carrying some kind of microphone. He's a podcaster.
He's what?
He's a podcaster.
He's a podcast.
He's about to say,
oh no!
hello,
I didn't think this
Fresh.
could get any scarier. My God.
So moments later, they see him with his microphone. They're like, okay, let's get out of here. They start walking away. The siren sound comes back. And they realize, I think, that the sound was this microphone.
I don't like this.
They freak out and they start running away to get away from this microphone sound. The creature must have seen this happening and realized that the sound was freaking the kids out, and he turns the siren off. And then the creature
Oh.
lifts up the microphone to its mouth after the kids were starting to run away. And when he talks into the microphone, it sounds as if he's right next to them, even though he's quite a distance away.
Bye.
And they hear him say, hello, are you still there?
I don't think so. And I also don't like that you said, oh, this isn't a scary one, because I really am actually freaked out.
Well, the kids actually thought he sounded pretty friendly. Like he was like, are you still there? After they got scared, which I can imagine I like scare a stray cat. And then I'm like, are you still there? Where are you? I think that's the vibe they're getting.
Okay. I mean, listen, if that's okay.
They realized it was trying to talk to them. They said it sounded friendly enough that they didn't feel as scared. They did walk back to the being. Stranger danger is not a concept here.
Not yet. It hasn't, 80s hasn't hit. Satanic
That's
panic.
exactly right. This is the 70s where even if it's dark
Anything
out,
goes.
when they got close enough to this being, they noticed how weird he looked.
They didn't notice with the 3-finger. Okay.
Well,
To be fair,
that will
they're
be
kids.
that will be the least of your concerns in a second.
Oh, no.
I will try my best to describe this to you, but then I will be sending you a picture because it's a lot to handle.
I genuinely do not recall what the fuck you're about to tell me, and I'm getting anxious already.
So, 7 feet tall. Let's start there.
No, big wrong.
Big ass round head, like basketball head, and it's definitely bigger than the rest of its body. And no neck.
Like
So-
proportion wise, you mean?
Yeah.
It's not like bigger than the body.
no,
it's
it's
just
like that
out
head
of
should be on a bigger
proportion.
body.
Got it.
No neck to hold this big ass head. It's just plopped on the body. Apparently reddish brown hair. Okay.
I love that they added hair. Whoever they is, I don't know.
Nothing on his face moved, including his lips. Nothing moved.
That's
just the Botox Cabana mom. That's at the beach time.
I mean, yeah, it feels like a mask or like a yuck.
Yeah,
I
might
don't-
be a mask. Or when I say there's nothing on his face, I mean the features are painted on. Like a mask, or like maybe this thing is like a robot or something. Like it's just a
Ew. Okay.
just a
so,
flat
yeah.
surface, and its features were painted on like a clown.
Okay.
So the eyes were
Oh.
blue triangles, the nose was a
Oh.
brown square, the mouth was a yellow oval, and its skin was pale white and looked paper thin.
This makes me want to throw up. Like this feels. I know that these kids are like comforted or whatever, but like, I think there's a reason this is like such a scary like. I don't know, man. I don't know. Send me the picture. Or are
I'm
you
not
doing that
done.
yet. Oh, I was already hoping that was it.
This thing, like I said, had 3 fingers on each of its hands, which were in blue gloves. This guy's dogs are out, bare feet. Also 3-toed on each foot.
And no gloves.
No gloves, no
Just-
socks, just raw dogging it on the grass. If his toes weren't out for the world to see, I would have actually probably described his entire body to you as like entirely made of wood. But he seemed to, because his limbs apparently looked like wooden slats. And on his ankles, wrists, and head, there were wooden antennae. So I would have thought his whole body was wood, but he's got like human, white, naked, three-toed feet.
So they said like the feet were just feet.
Just
Normal
feet, but 3 toes each.
So they got the feet right, and then they were like,
And the
And then
rest is a tree. Yeah.
and then they like outsourced the rest of the project, and it just went to shit.
Like literally
The rest is a tree.
the arms look like planks of wood. The legs look like planks of wood. There's wooden antenna, which I would imagine are branches coming out of this whole thing.
What the fuck?
And then his outfit is
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, his outfit. Yeah,
Is
sorry, I didn't
ripped
even
up.
think.
it's ripped up,
Uh-huh.
frilly white pants,
What?
pointy yellow hat, and the hat is somehow connected to his shirt, which is green and red.
This is like out of a children's nightmare. I mean, it feels like I don't like this.
Well, between the outfit and the makeup all over the face, and I'm saying makeup, but like the shapes on his face that are different colors and shapes,
painted on. Or
painted
whatever.
on. Between that and the outfit being a bunch of frilly bright colors, that's why this guy is often described as at least part clown.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
The sources that I read described him as a cross between a clown, a robot, and an alien. So I'm going to send you 2 pictures now. One is like an artist rendering, and the black and white one is what was actually written. It was actually drawn for a case report, like a UFO case report.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking weird. There's a lot of Etsy things about him because he's so weird. So if you want to go get some stuff with him on it, go to Etsy.
Oh my Lord in heaven.
It's so
Okay, I see this one. Let me go to the other one. Ooh. Okay, the one for the UFO report is really scaring me. Like because it was like they were trying to get every aspect of it as accurately as the kids described it, and it looks absolutely bonker. Like it looks
looks
like a
like
creepy clown. You know, the scarecrow, like a scarecrow clown person.
Yeah. It looks like
Kinda.
like an anime, like a rough draft of an anime cartoon, or like someone from Meow Wolf. Like it feels like some artist.
Yes, it does feel kind of Meow
creation.
Wolf, like this sort of weird fantasy, sci-fi kind of esque, like
Yeah.
retro. Yeah, it's weird. The microphone, and like, so it was a microphone, right?
Microphone.
They knew it was a microphone. They
Yeah.
weren't like, oh, it was something similar to. Like they knew it was.
They knew it was a microphone, and they said it was just it just made a really loud siren sound, which honestly makes me think of like, remember when we were kids and they had like those like microphones attached to like a radio or like a tape cassette, like a toy, so like you could talk into
Oh.
it and there'd be a speaker.
Do you think that I don't own
A million of
at
those.
least,
Yeah.
at least 2 of those things?
So
Maggie, our manager, sent my daughter microphones and a speaker, and I went, "You are out of your damn mind."
She said, I'm trying to get my
Miss.
next client. That's
Yeah, forget it.
So it seems like it might have been that. And in the 70s, that might have existed as a toy for kids too. So
Sure, no, that makes sense. Oh, so it's almost like, oh, look, here I am.
Maybe, yeah.
Ew. But it also feels like it had magic powers, quote unquote, in that it, or like supernatural powers, in that it could like throw your voice or
Mhm.
like
yeah, something
maybe
weird.
I always feel like with these things they're masking, like, oh, they masked it as like maybe a kid's toy microphone or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Instead of some other tool. I don't know. I'm kind of going off the rails. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Well, despite this being like the craziest looking thing in the whole world, this being does seem incredibly friendly and incredibly shy.
Aw.
I mean, and also like
That's all it takes. Aw.
I know.
Suddenly I'm like, I feel
and
bad for him
Christine's
now.
locked in, yeah.
And I have an emotional attachment.
I mean, also now that you're all like connected to it in a Pixar kind of way, imagine watching him like clumsily like dropping his book in the river and then getting embarrassed and running away.
Well, that I know, it feels so like human, you know?
Mhm. Well, he puts the microphone down and he grabs the book that fell in the water and he tries to write out some words so he can
What?
communicate with them.
Oh my gosh, he dropped his journal. What a bozo.
Which also makes me
Literally.
think, can he not? I'm confused why he needed
speak.
the microphone to speak, but then he needed to write something down. But then later in the story, he does talk to them. So he's just trying all avenues here.
Okay, but can I say one thing that kind of struck me as odd earlier? When
Hmm.
you said that his sentence was, "Are you still there?"
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was a weird thing to say in that context. And my first thought, I don't know, this is just me completely riffing, but my first thought was that feels like something you would like copy and paste as like, you remember on those like phone, remember those websites where you could like prank call somebody and have Napoleon Dynamite say certain phrases?
Yes.
Like I feel like "Are you still there?" is like such a phrase that you could almost record and project. So I am always wondering if the like "Are you still there?" was part of this microphone thing.
Yeah.
And
Maybe.
not him talking.
Like it was a preset on a.
Or it was something like he was preset to say, but he couldn't
I see.
like get more specific. Or I don't know. I know that's a little off the wall, but all of this is a little off the wall. So
I mean, there's no wrong guess, like
right.
that does feel like something that is very. I mean,
Like maybe
compared to
that's why he
everything
had
else,
to-
that's totally likely.
yeah. We're kind of out of logic territory here.
So, he writes something down, in the book, and apparently he wrote the words not in sequential order, and he had to point at each word that he wanted them to read
Huh.
in order. And when he pointed them out and the kids read it out loud, what he had written was, "Hello, I am all colors Sam." Now, what I think he meant was he was trying to be like they're little kids, and he was trying not to scare them, and he said like, look at all my colors, because I'm like a yellow hat and a red and green shirt. Like I could see me going up to Leona if I was wearing a bunch of colors and going, "Oh, I'm all the colors," you
And
know.
rainbow. Yeah.
Well,
Well, what did other people think it meant? Because that's what I think it means.
people think his name is All Colors Sam, or like,
Oh, I see.
and
I
other
see.
people also think that like maybe he was referring to the kids as Sam, and like, I'm all colors Sam.
No, I
Like,
don't.
I don't
Oh,
know. There's a whole bunch of theories on like what he was saying.
I mean, yeah, and I feel like that sentence inherently doesn't make sense. So it's like it was probably just a rudimentary way of saying something. And to me, I think you're right. Like the more likely thing is like, see, I'm rainbow. I'm so look how although all colors Sam is kind of a creepy like take on like it's like an uncanny valley rainbow. Like instead
Yes.
of saying rainbow Sam, it's like all the colors, right?
That's
a
totally right.
rainbow.
It does
Cool.
sound like it, like a black-eyed kid trying to say like,
yeah, trying
I'm
to
a
figure
rainbow.
out how to say rainbow. Oh God.
I nominate him as a gay icon, by the way. This all colors Sam.
I mean, I do love that for him.
Of
Yeah.
of the cryptids for us to adopt.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen yet, so I don't
Okay.
remember what happens.
Fair enough.
But for now, I'll put that on ice.
Well, when he did speak to them, or after he pointed out his name, he tried speaking to them again, and they realized it was kind of hard to make out what he was saying because his lips don't move because they're literally painted on. But apparently he could speak a little bit. I guess there was a speaker somewhere. I don't totally understand his anatomy. They asked him why his
You don't totally understand it?
not actually any
Just
at all.
just somewhat.
They asked why his clothes were ripped, and he said they were the only ones he had. Which, like, I like that he can say that in a full fucking sense, but he can't say his name is Sam and he wears all
Also,
the
I
colors.
love kids more than anything. They're like, "Hey, what happened to your clothes?" Not like, "Why the fuck are you? Did you look like that?" You know, they're like, "Why are your clothes all torn? What happened? Did you get hurt?" Like, it's just like so humanizing.
But then it would be something like really like socially unacceptable. Right after that, it'd be like, what happened to your
yeah.
clothes? Why are you so fat and ugly? Like something
Yeah.
really awful.
What happened to your clothes? Did you eat too much food and bust out of them or something? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a kid can really turn on you quick with those kind of compliments.
Well, they asked if he was human next,
Good question.
and he says no. And then they said, "Are you a ghost?"
Aw.
And Sam said, "Well, not really, but I am in an odd sort of way."
Holy shit.
And so then Faye says, "Well, what are you then?" And Sam smiled and said, "You know." I want to die.
What?
What does that
How
mean?
did he stop? How did he smile?
I don't know anything more than that.
He
And
did
also,
not smile.
how
His
physically
lips
did he
don't
smile?
move.
His mouth is painted on.
That's what I said. His lips don't move. That's not possible.
Okay, fine. He
Nice
didn't
try.
smile, stared at them with a...
He was probably already smiling. So I guess maybe technically it's true because he's been smiling the whole time.
So he actually did nothing and emotionless said, "You know," which is worse.
You know, I mean, also, actually, no, smiling. I don't
Please
know.
smile.
It's all bad.
So Sam then invites them into his hut. You know,
Bad.
the
Bad.
Mickey Mouse Club.
The big metal with no windows.
Um,
Mouseketeer Club.
the kids said yes, and they followed him in. And the only way in was to crawl through essentially a doggy door. A small flap. They just crawled through. That should have released some red flags. But I guess
Oh
not.
yeah, now you think when they're crawling into, they're like, if this were a door, a revolving door, maybe I would have been on board.
The
but
second
a
this
doggy
thing-
door, I don't think
The
so.
second I have to be on my knees and crawling, forget
That is
it.
that is a good point.
There's something like extra like degrading in my mind to it of like there's something just a little
They're
too
little
submissive.
kids, though.
Not in like a dirty way or
Well,
anything.
but
It's just
he
like
probably
it feels.
had to crawl in through. Or
Yeah,
two.
it doesn't say if he had to crawl.
I
Yeah, that's a
assume
good
so.
point. That's a good point.
But also, like, I didn't know, and I didn't mean it like in a degrading way. I just meant, or in a way beyond like anything
Yeah.
above board. But I just mean like, but they're kids, so they're probably like used to crawling around, and like that's
Sure.
not probably as weird for.
It just felt like an
kids.
adventure maybe for them.
It's almost like come to my tree house, right? And you're like,
Right.
oh, you have to crawl in. Yeah, I feel like that's like less of a red flag to a little kid. But you're right. Like I'd be like, actually, this is where my dog's really thirsty, actually, and I have to go home.
I think also for me, if anyone tells me to crawl anywhere, I know getting up, I'm gonna embarrass myself. Going, ugh, I just don't
Yeah,
even want to.
we're not even gonna go there.
We're not
It's
that
even gonna
close yet.
happen. No.
So the kids crawl on in. Apparently, he crawls in too. And the kids have described the hut, saying that it's 2 floors. The bottom floor had metal flooring, so the walls and floor. It seems like all of it's just one metal
I don't know why, but
tuna fish can.
I'm sort of picturing it like Bikini Bottom Pineapple, where it's like you crawl in through the little thing.
Yeah, well, in that case, it'd be Squidward's house if it's all metal, right? Or his,
Oh, that's
is his
true.
house metal? No, it's a statue.
I don't remember. Oh yeah.
But yeah, it does feel a little SpongeBob-y.
You crawl in. The first floor is all metal. Okay.
And the floor is metal. The walls have blue and green wallpaper, and they're covered in dials. The second floor had lower ceilings, and they pretty much said like everything in there was like there was an electric heater and furniture made of wood. He is also made of wood, so technically, is that like him sitting on his own friends?
Is he made of wood, or is it like he's just got wood?
He's got wood
Like
on him.
costume
It would be
on.
like us having like bone furniture, I guess.
I mean, we do have that, because
Yeah, that's a
that's
good point.
called a lot of leather. We've got
That's a
we've
good point.
got bone inlay.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. Once inside, Sam took off his pointy yellow hat.
I was like, took off what? Okay, good.
His hat, not his hat,
His
not his,
hat, his
not his
hat.
pants. And the three of them kept talking. Great. Sam drew them a picture, and apparently it was a similar looking being to him, and he hinted that there were others like him. He then said that there was a camp of them nearby, but then didn't
Uh-oh.
elaborate. I'd be like, babe, speak on that. But apparently that was all he needed to say. There's more
I
of me
actually
in
would
there
be
nearby.
like, let's not talk about that ever again. Actually, I don't want to know about it, and I'd rather not pretend. I would rather pretend it doesn't exist.
I'd be like,
at
am I
all.
safe with them or what's happening here?
I don't want to know anything actually about them. You go find out.
I was like, am I being recruited?
Yeah, M's like, is it a club? I would love to join.
If I get a pin or a badge or like a weekly something, I'll do
like
it.
a certificate, swag, anything.
An initiation ritual that I can't discuss with anyone, but I totally will.
Some hazing.
He also said that about his own personality, that people scare him, like human beings scare him, and he's afraid of them hurting him. And,
Yeah, that's a fair. Yes, you should be.
But then that could easily twist into a horror movie of like, I'm afraid they'll hurt me when they find out I like to eat children. You know,
right.
something
It
awful.
feels. This is like it's kind of. I think the reason I keep getting like hung up on the similarities to other things, even though it's really not similar to anything, is just because it's kids. But I'm thinking like Hansel Gretel
Mhm.
vibes, like oh, come into my hut, like in the woods. I don't know. It's just,
I mean,
all of it is
you're
so
not-
unsettling.
First of all, it's because you're a mom. Second of all, it's because we grew up on cautionary tales. Third of all, you're German.
Right.
Like you
Well,
are.
yeah, exactly.
You see every single reason that these kids should have ran away.
I mean, yeah, but I'm also trying to picture it almost from like a kid's perspective. Like if Leona were telling the story, and I'm like, yeah, she would describe like his clothes were all ripped up, just things that
Mhm.
it's just interesting to think like that this is from their perspective.
But
I don't
also,
know.
like, sure. Let's pretend that what happened here is this is just like kids' imaginations
Mm.
going wild and then telling their parents what they did during their day. It is like very enlightening to be like, oh, this other thing that's totally not me and I'm not projecting at all. We're just scared of human beings and adults and we
Mhm.
feel like they could hurt us. And then we crawled around in a basically a treehouse, like you said, in this place with a little flap, and we crawled in and it was all made of wood because it's probably a tree. And then there was this clown and he was so nice to us and he wasn't intimidating at all. And he had all these colors. Like, I don't know, it just sounds like it could very easily just be like meant to be
Exactly.
a sweet story, and the way that they're telling it, adults are like, "What the fuck are you
I
saying
know,
to
but
me?"
it's like the details that get like, okay, something is off. Like something is not just imagination. Like it's
Mhm.
a little too specific.
Yeah. And the fact that there's two of them, part of me is like,
Yes.
are they corroborating each other or are they like gassing each other up and like really
Well, I
like
don't know. I'm sure, and this is literally why Astonishing Legends spends hours on every topic. They probably figured that out. I don't
they
remember,
cracked the
but
case, yeah.
maybe.
So anyway, he says he's scared of people, he's afraid of them hurting him. And then oddly, he said, if they ever tried to hurt me, which I'm afraid of, I wouldn't fight back. And then he implied that that's what all of the people like him would be
Well,
like,
yeah,
but they
fight,
wouldn't
flight,
fight back.
freeze. You don't want to hurt. You freeze.
Yeah, and I was like, is it a fight, flight, freeze thing? Or
Or
is
is
it
it
like
like
you
an
physically
ethical thing?
can't defend
Oh.
yourself? Or is it that
I thought it was like all the people like me, we wouldn't hurt somebody, so we don't fight back.
That's
Like
what
we wouldn't fight anyone.
I think if a kid is making
Like
this
we're
up?
pacifists.
Yeah, right. I think if a kid was making this up, that's what they probably meant and just said it in a weird way.
Yeah.
Or like a little kid would be like, I can't fight back if a big person tried to hurt me. Like, I don't know. He said he has a way. Okay, this is also like not something a 7-year-old would say, I guess. He tells them how he's been surviving here, and he says he's drinking water and he's eating berries that he collects, but the water is from the river and he has a special way of cleaning it so it's safe to drink.
Mm.
He then also says he has no name, even though he fucking just said his name was Sam. Or all colors.
I mean, maybe that was how he got them kind of.
Maybe he just. But then again, if I told Leona, like, look, I'm all the colors, that doesn't mean that's my name. So
But you would say, well, you wouldn't say I'm all colors Alan, and then be like, just kidding.
Right. Maybe Sam
don't
is
have a
his way
name.
of like, you know how in telegrams, like the word stop just shows up in between sentences? Maybe just say Sam at the end of sentences.
He just pointed at the word Sam, remember, because it was all out of order.
right.
He's like, oh, I forgot to put Sam in there. Maybe they forgot the order. Maybe it was like, oh, no, it still doesn't make sense.
None of it does. Well, so after he says he knows how to clean the water in a certain way, he doesn't have a name. He then shows the kids how he eats berries. Because remember, his mouth and his face work differently. He puts one in his ear, a berry. Then he lunges his neck forward. And then the berry appeared in his eye socket.
Hello?
After lunging a second time, the berry then showed up in his mouth.
Wait, I thought he can't move his mouth or his eyes.
And he doesn't have a neck, right?
No.
So how is it lunging twice? Also, is it appearing inside his mouth if the mouth can't open?
That's
And
what
also,
I'm saying.
And
What do you mean? What's this eye socket? Where did that come from?
yeah, he doesn't. Also, does this? I think he just showed you ways that the berry gets all up in his face, but I still didn't learn how he eats it because this.
Well, he doesn't eat it. He's an alien, and I think the deal here is like, oh look, watch. Don't you believe me? I eat berries, and then it's like, see, watch me eat it, and it's like when dads do the thing that Tim just taught Leon of like the coin behind the ear,
Mhm.
like watch this. Nom nom. Like I feel like
Like he had
he's
another
like,
one hiding in the eye socket and then went,
right.
"Oh,"
He's like,
yeah.
I can eat it. See, yum yum. It gives me energy. Like he's probably an alien that doesn't need fucking berries, but he's just trying to be like human. I don't know.
see. That's a good point. Because I was like, I feel like I still didn't learn how he eats it because he's not chewing it
don't
or
think he
swallowing it or
eats it.
taking it in. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. He's just showing how food
He's
moves
just
around.
being like a weirdo.
So after 30 minutes of being in this house, Faye and the boy leave All Color Sam's hut and they wander home. They even told a man that they passed on the way home, "Oh, we just saw a ghost." And the guy laughed and like just kind of walked away.
Because he said he's sort of a ghost. Oh my god, we just saw a ghost. What a wild. Wow.
So then obviously the man doesn't believe them. He's like, "Oh, 7-year-olds." But
Or doesn't know what to do with that. Like,
right.
cool.
Okay, have fun. So Faye ends up several weeks later telling her family what happened. I guess her dad was kind of like, something's going on. What happened? And her father was hesitant at first to believe her and was in denial about that. But he went to go investigate himself, and he ended up going to the area where they heard the siren. They saw the hut, and the dad, he did not find Sam. There was no hut in the area. There was no disturbed soil where like the hut would have been if it were to have been lifted and left. There were workmen in the area who'd been there for weeks who said that they had never seen anything odd, including a fucking clown walking around.
He probably did not ask. He's like, anything odd? They're like, what do you mean by odd? And he's like, let's not go there.
You would know.
You would know. Yeah.
But so he saw nothing and he was like, okay, kids being kids. But his daughter Faye was so insistent that
Yeah.
it kind of freaked him out, and he ended up reaching out to the British UFO Research Association,
Good for him.
or BUFORA, which is the British version of MUFON.
Move on. BUFORA is cute.
BUFORA is like fun.
That's like, ooh.
So here's another reason that her father had originally been in denial or didn't want to believe his daughter, is because of a secret he'd been keeping from his family, which is that for the
I think
last
this is why he did believe it.
few years he'd been having his own UFO encounters.
Yeah, so he was like, I actually know something. Because I was like, most parents would have literally swept this under the rug by now and not fucking contacted it. So that's interesting. Wow. Oh my God, I'm so freaked out again.
So he'd been having his own weird UFO situations,
remember
and he had never told anyone in his family, but when his daughter all of a sudden started having experiences, he freaked out that his daughter was now being followed by the same things that follow him.
Shit.
And so when he accepted that this was really happening or something was going on because his daughter was so insistent, he decided to contact BUFORA.
Hmm.
So his situation was let me think, 3 years before. 3 years before Faye had her thing with Sam.
Mm-hmm.
He was driving and he saw a big ass UFO with 7 balls of red light hovering in the sky, and he actually stopped to watch it for a second, like a dad watching a hurricane come in.
Okay, but every UFO story, I feel like people say that. Like we pulled over and just got out and stared at it.
That's your sign to just never do it. If I see something, I just keep it moving. I don't
Really? I would for sure pull
I don't want to
over.
get followed by something, and that seems to be what happens to everyone
I like
who
how
stops
you're like,
and
I'll talk
looks.
to humans on a random man I don't know, and I'm like, really? I would.
And you're like, I would
absolutely not.
absolutely do something extraterrestrial.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Well, so he watched this thing hover above the sky. He eventually left, and when he was driving away, he noticed that the craft was now silently following him. And according to some of the sources, these lights and this hovercraft for the next 2 or 3 years continued to pop up and follow him.
Yeah,
over
that's
and
my
over.
worst nightmare. So maybe I feel like I would park the car. I don't think I would get out of the car. If there were a lot of other people getting out of the car, I would get out of the car. Safety in numbers. I know that's flawed logic, but that's what I would.
Until
probably
all
think.
of you are strapped to different tables in the same
I mean, that's
hospital
honestly,
in the sky.
as long as if I were alone on the road, I'd be like, I didn't see nothing. Don't pull me over. Don't look at me. Don't perceive me. Do not put me on a table. But if there are a bunch of people stopping, I'm like, odds are they'll pick someone else. You know?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right. There's like
That's right.
the odds aren't that 100% that I'm going to get abducted. Just
Yeah.
not 0. That's fine.
And
Certainly
I'll have
better.
such a good story to tell on the podcast if I ever make it off that
Christine,
slab.
with love, I hope you get abducted. So
No.
so in such a detailed way where
No!
nothing hang on, fucking relax while I wish this upon you. Thank
First
you.
of all,
I hope nothing bad happens to you, but I wish for you to be abducted by someone who you end up getting emotionally attached to because they're also emotionally attached to you, and both of you are just friends, and then they just show you the whole UFO and they go, and this is the cafeteria, this is our menu, and then you bring a copy of it to the podcast so I know what they eat.
okay.
This is what I want, and
This
there's
is all for you. Okay,
and
got it.
you can't stop me. That's the thing.
I can't, can I?
And
okay.
then they even say, this is our drink. This is Glorp Fizz. We want you to drink Glorp Fizz so you can tell the world how great Glorp Fizz is. And then you
there
bring me a
is
sample.
so much stevia in it. You will love it.
And then I just want you to describe them to me. I want to know what their eyes look like, what their
New
little tummies
Glorp
look like, everything.
Fizz.
Yeah.
Taste the fit. Taste the glorp.
But that was translated. See, that's why they need you. So you can translate it for them because they can't do it on their
PR
own.
consultant.
Don't you kind of wish that too? And then they leave you alone forever after they drop you off.
This
And your
is
clothes
how-
stay on the whole time unless you don't want them to be on the whole time.
Okay.
You know?
He takes off his hat, his pointy yellow
He
hat.
takes off his pointy hat, not his frilly white pants.
And they say he has sandy brown hair, reddish brown hair.
So I'm just correct me if I'm wrong. You don't want that or you do want that?
I don't want to be abducted by aliens.
If the
Thanks for
scenario
asking.
I'm laying out happened, I would sign up for that.
Nope.
It's you just get a tour
It's
of UFO.
too many loose ends. I need to see a contract. I need to see that you will not follow me. I will need to see that you will not. This doesn't mean. And then later, your daughter will also have to experience. Like, I don't want to be signing on some line that I can't read the fine print.
If I knew we would never see each other again and I got 5 minutes to just sit with them and try some Glorp Fizz and everyone's clothes on, I'm going. I'm going.
If you had 5 minutes, what?
5 minutes with them.
Okay, but like that wasn't part of the contract you laid out. That's
Oh,
what
sorry,
I'm
right,
saying.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I need more guardrails intact. I need to know that this is a one-time, like, never repeating. Like,
I have an idea.
I'll be on some nectar that won't make me scared.
I have an idea. It doesn't have to be today, but eventually a future Patreon idea is that we write the ideal contract. If you were, and I'll write one too. Like, in an imaginary world, if I'm
Okay, let's do it on Yappy Hour then. Fine, let's do it on Yappy Hour.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, this dad, the dad of Faye who experienced all this stuff, he had those lights following him for like years. And then later on, a second situation happened where he was by the water again, because the last time happened by the water too. And all of a sudden the tide is really weird. It's starting to billow. He is almost getting caught up in the water. And then he looks down into the waves and sees the same glowing lights that he was seeing in the sky that were red. He now sees them yellow, glowing under the water, rising up to him.
My God. Okay.
Both of these instances totally freak him out. He kept them from his family, but after hearing his daughter insisting that she also had weird experiences, albeit incredibly different experiences, he wondered if there was some sort of connection and reached out to one of the UFO researchers in the area, who then said, you should go report it to BUFORA. So BUFORA, they have a publication called the BUFORA Journal, and they covered this case in volume 2, number 5. And Sam was on the cover. That's the picture I showed you. That's Sam, the drawing.
The drawing. Okay.
And the caption.
Like the black and white one?
Yes.
Okay.
And the caption of this issue of the BUFORA Journal said, "Report extra Ghost or Spaceman 73."
Ooh.
And so they reported this as a very mysterious case with no evidence other than the kids saying that it happened. They threw around theories like, is this an alien? Is this a ghost? Is this interesting? Like some sort of Faye, and the girl's name was Faye, and that was her pseudonym that they gave her. It's like, what are the odds? Is it a hoax? Is it a hallucination? Is it some sort of shared psychosis after a trauma that they maybe both went through? Is it just a creepy fucking human who like lured them into his house and then let them go? Or is it just the kids having an imagination? My best guess is that this is just the kid's imagination, and that their dad projected his own encounters onto his kid and was like, this must mean something. We've both had weird things happen to us. The dad, especially because he was the one reporting it when it seemed, and he reported it 5 years after it happened. So this came out in the 1978 issue when the All Colors Sam story happened in 73.
But do you think that's just like when they got around to publishing it, or you
Maybe.
think that was when he reported it?
I don't know the answer, but I do know the sources I looked at. They were like, it's kind of fishy that it took 5 years. So whatever happened there,
Okay.
and the fact that in those 5 years when it was being reported and published, Faye never came forward and said anything. The boy never came forward and said anything. It was just like
really?
the dad who leaned into this, and he was like, "There's the story that a couple years ago my kid told me about."
Okay.
But it does feel like a classic like dad move to be hung up on something, and like
I mean, but it also like clearly caught on. Like people were clearly like
yeah.
freaked out enough to feel like it might be something.
A lot of people say it's odd. I don't know if it's that odd. There's a million different circumstances that could be leading to this, but it's odd that the kids never came forward to say it's their story, because I say like they could have just been over it at that point. They probably didn't want to talk about it. Maybe they were embarrassed that they were kids and made something up. Maybe it just wasn't a big deal to them. Maybe nothing else ever happened. I mean, who knows what the story is?
Yeah, or maybe they're traumatized and they don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it, you know?
And even though no evidence was found of Sam or the hut, Faye's dad was like really insistent, even though he also never saw Sam or the hut or any evidence of it when he went to go check himself. But he still told people, this is a quote from him, "I get the impression that Faye was somehow taken into a bubble of alien reality
Whoa.
created by Sam." Like I think he's just like really leaned into this in
I mean,
a way
that's
where like
that's the idea of like, like a screen memory. Like,
hmm,
they created a false pretense for what actually, like, the aliens made it seem like you were just doing this when in reality they're just masking over what really happened. You know what I
right.
mean? Like a screen memory.
And
But
maybe
you know what
what?
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I had a realization because I'm looking, that thing about I am all color Sam was kind of throwing me off, and I'm like looking at pictures, and then I was like, what about Sam I Am? And I googled Sam I Am, and he is the exact same colors as
Sam I
the
Am? Dr. Seuss's Sam I Am?
yeah, like yellow with red and green. Like, I don't know, it just is a little strange.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Like the hat is a different color, but it's still a hat.
Man, I haven't thought about this guy in a long time. Well, yeah, that could be it.
And that came out along like
Trying to think about their
1960, so that would have been like their
13 years.
age.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good point. I mean, it could have been them just subconsciously talking about things they already
Or
knew.
like it could have been an alien being like,
Or it could have been a glitch in the Matrix. Yeah, it could have been.
it could have been an alien being like, this is a thing for kids. I am Sam.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, you've
look
said
at
that
me.
before.
Like, can't you tell who I am?
You've said that
you know?
before of like trying to mask his other things
present-
to make you feel safer.
Yeah, like Terry Lovelace saw, dancing monkeys, and he's like, and it was scary, but looking back, I think they were trying to make me be entertained. They thought, like, what do kids like? Circus monkeys. And
Yeah.
like that's where they connected it back to this too, because it's like, oh, a clown, circus monkeys. Like some people have reported with abduction seeing like creepy like toys that
Mhm.
are supposed to make you feel like comforted, but really it's even scarier,
Yeah.
like they don't realize it's scarier. So it almost to me is like, I am Sam, can't you see all my colors? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like it unless, I don't know. I'm always like, I fucking want to believe that this is real, but
I would like to. It feels like if it is not real, incredible imagination.
it's a great story. Yeah.
Also, even if it was real, though, we only have a retelling of a retelling of a retelling, because we have like
Mm.
Faye who told her dad, who told the journalist, who then reported it based on whatever he thought was useful to the case.
To the report. Yeah.
I do think it's weird that like it sounds like nobody ever like reached out to Faye or the boy to get actual details. Like if they were really gone for a half an hour in the hut, like we have no idea what most of the conversation was, and nobody asked. Like that's kind of weird to me. Feels like shoddy reporting.
Yeah, I like wonder if only a few people were interested enough to care, like it's
Yeah.
not like a bunch of people would be like, "Oh, let me crack this case wide open." Like I feel like it probably just I don't know.
Well, with the minimal evidence we have, all we have is like their story, which we never even really heard about more than from what the dad knows.
Wow.
BUFORA, these are some of the reasons why people say that it was just the kid's imagination. Other than their story, BUFORA did not get any reports of UFO sightings in the area at that time. The hut was seemingly never there. The workmen didn't notice a clown in the woods. And Sam also didn't show them anything non-human. I mean, he showed them wooden furniture. He showed them maybe metal flooring, and his fucking feet were the weirdest things about him.
Well, and his like weird microphone, I guess.
Yeah. But it looked like a normal microphone. I guess it could have just been like
Had a speaker somewhere.
something. Plus the kids never claimed he was an alien. They called him a ghost, and
That's true.
and they said he looked like a clown. The only person who kept calling it an alien was their dad. My favorite reason that only one source points it out, which I thought was really interesting. They were very team, this is the kid's imagination. But they said all colors Sam sounds like, if you say it fast, Alakazam. And
Sam, I am all colors am. Alakazam.
All colors Sam. Well, and then the weirdest thing that Sam did show them was a disappearing, reappearing berry, which is a magic trick. So
yeah, abracadabra, Alakazam. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, it most likely the three options are either that it's like some weird ass alien that was trying to like mask, or it was a creepy man luring them into their house and then letting them go, or two kids telling a story that dad took too far. But
wow.
Yeah, that's all colors Sam.
I mean, I'm telling you, that it still creeps me out. Even like if my kid came home and had this like really and was like really insistent that this really happened,
I'd believe it.
I'd be freaked out. Well, I'd probably think something happened, like somebody did something. You know what I mean? I'd be freaked out that like they just didn't understand.
I would
Like,
at
have
the
you heard
very
those?
least believe that like a man in the woods
That's what I'm
let you
saying.
come
Like
into
that
his house. Yeah.
something happened. Like if you were really, really convinced, you know, that you both saw something, and experienced something. Oh my God, what a story. Okay, wow. Well, you have to pee. I have to pee.
I do have to pee. I forgot I had to pee.
Yeah, I remembered.
Thanks. Okay. Well, I'll go
See you
pee.
soon. I couldn't decide on an item to discuss from Quince today. And then I went into my orders on their website and I thought, oh dear, I have so many options to pick from. What should I choose? I think I'm going to choose the linen pants because the linen pants, they're one of their best sellers, and I was kind of skeptical for a while. I wear linen pants now every day, and I look like a beachy, breezy, like elevated, sophisticated style.
100%,
You know,
100%.
it's the cool, and they're like I have some with like chambray stripe,
Oh.
and they're great for travel too. But they look so classy. And Quince, that's the best part. They're not charging an arm and a leg for this kind of thing. Okay,
Everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands, and by working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. The other best part about Quince is that Christine finally matches me on style levels. She's looking really good finally.
Oh, it took forever to figure it out.
It was lonely at the top.
Oh, but don't mind me, just easy breezy. Yeah, Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. And I say that because it is very affordable and it feels like, oh, this should be cheap, but it really is not.
Elevate your fall wardrobe essentials with Quince. Go to quince.com/drink for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/drink to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/drink. I love wine. I love it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful,
Thank
Chrissy.
you. I don't know how anybody figured it out, but Naked Wines sure did. They showed up at my doorstep and I said, oh, who? Silly old me? Thank you. Bring it on inside.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by Naked Wines. Christine was very thrilled when we realized that they wanted to work with us. My favorite thing about it is the little setup they've got, because Naked is a wine club. You know I want to be a part of an organization so bad.
Always.
That directly connects you to the world's best independent winemakers, so you can get world-class wine delivered straight to your door. That's another you know I hate being inconvenienced, everybody.
Oh, right.
You know
right.
it.
You and you alone. Yes.
Yeah.
Use our code DRINK for both the code and password at nakedwines.com, and you'll get 6 free bottles for just $39.99. I recently enjoyed a Naked Wines bottle of Grenache. I'm not really that familiar familiar with the flavor, but I was able to kind of customize my flavor profile without knowing much about wine at all. And they sent this lovely Grenache, and I thought, oh, don't mind if I do.
Now it's time to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/drink and click enter voucher and put in our code DRINK for both the code and password for 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included.
That's $100 off your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/drink. Use the code and password DRINK for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99. So I have a story here that's a little bit different today. As I said, I went down kind of a rabbit hole. This is a story I heard about years ago on what is that show called? Things You Should Know. Things You Should Know, the podcast.
Okay.
And so I re-listened to that episode and found a few other sources. And I'm going to tell you about the Phantom of Heilbronn. Sorry, it's a German story. AKA the woman without a face.
Fish, what? Okay, I can't wait. Wait, unless...
Okay.
Oh, wait, can I be excited?
You can be excited. It's our
Okay, cool.
podcast.
I know,
We're
but if
telling
it's like she doesn't have a face because something really
stories.
traumatic happens to her, then I'm like,
Oh my God. No.
okay, then I'm stoked.
This starts, well, it's kind of all over the place. The timeline is a little wacky, so hold on tight. April 25th, 2007, in Heilbronn, Germany, around 2 p.m. We do start heavy, we start dark, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Officer Michelle Kiesewetter and her partner, Officer Martin A., surname withheld, stopped their marked BMW 5 Series patrol car in a corner of a large parking lot for lunch. And as they sat down for lunch, 2 gunmen approached from behind the vehicle, shot both officers in the head with a pistol. Kiesewetter, who was seated in the driver's seat, was fatally wounded, died at the scene, and Officer Martin A. was critically injured, was in a coma for a while, survived, but he was a very, very young guy who had just joined the force. And so, like, and especially to be, like, just on your lunch break, you know, it just was it basically upended his whole life. So at arrival, responding officers found both victims lying on the ground next to their car. The assailants had stolen each officer's pistol.
Man.
And handcuffs. So this was like a really alarming event. And especially, you know, I mean, it would be alarming in the US, but imagine in a place where, like, you know, gun fatalities are just not common, right? And so this is just like kind of an alarming thing to happen. Now, investigators, this is 2007. So by this point, DNA evidence is definitely like mainstream. So they collected DNA evidence from the car's headrest and dashboard.
Okay.
And here I kind of want to add a point that by this point, it was 2007, okay? And DNA evidence was definitely a standard part of collecting evidence and, you know, testing crime scene evidence. I have a brief intermission here. We've briefly touched on this before, but I'm going to talk about DNA forensics real quick.
Yes.
So it wasn't actually until the mid-1980s that DNA was first used to solve a criminal case, and that is when British geneticist Alex Jeffreys helped convict a man using what he called DNA fingerprinting, and that man was Colin Pitchfork, the man who had been convicted. He was convicted of rape and murder in 1986 of children. And that was the first time DNA was used to convict somebody. He had raped and murdered 2 girls, Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth, in the 80s. They were 15 years old. And so when DNA came in and this conviction happened, like, DNA came hot on the scene, right? Like,
right.
It made a grand entrance. They were like, holy shit, this is groundbreaking. You know, by the 2000s, we have CSI. We have all these things where people are like, "Oh, DNA is like it." You know, the new thing, and it became king. It was seen as a gold standard, right? Like, if you have DNA, you will. What was that movie? Remember that movie about like that guy trying to not leave DNA anywhere? Anyway.
Oh, that's just the movie I play in my head every day when I wonder if I could, like, escape murdering somebody.
It's like this. Wow. Okay. It's a sci-fi movie. We had to watch it in biology. Whatever. Anyway.
You don't ever do that? You don't think, could I get away with it? You don't ever...
No.
In my head every day, I'm like, how could I get away with it?
Who are you killing? Like, people in
It's
specific?
some amorphous blob of a thing. I don't know.
Oh. I mean, like, occasionally if I'm like thinking about it, but I'm not like constantly like wondering. I don't know.
I think I played the game too often, and now it's just a regular thing in my head where I'm just like,
Great. That's comforting.
I'm like, oh, I wouldn't get away with it this time because I left
This time.
DNA. Yeah, every day I start over. I'm like, oh, but I'm like,
Wow, you should write like a choose your own adventure or something.
yeah, but in every adventure I fail and go to jail because I've
Yeah.
the only time it's kind of like, I'm so sorry to do this to everybody. You know the game
Yeah.
when you lose.
Unfortunately.
Um,
We all just lost.
it's kind of like that where I only ever think about it now in a circumstance where like I'm leaving my DNA everywhere. Like if I'm like just touching everything and then I go, well, I wouldn't have saved somebody. Or
I see.
I wouldn't have gotten away with it. Whoops.
It sort of like pops into mind when you're like,
Yeah.
like when I'm doing this and my hair falls out everywhere.
Yes.
And I'm like, oopsie.
You got it.
So, okay. So DNA was like what we're talking about. It was all over. People were talking about it. It was imagine, like it was such a groundbreaking idea. And now it could put away child rapists and
Mhm.
murderers. I mean, it was like huge. And so DNA came hot onto the scene, became king, became gold standard. And people just trusted it, right? Like if you have a jury and you say like, oh, there's DNA here, and it was this person's DNA was found at the scene, odds are the jury's going to be like, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds like he did it. So now I want to tell you what happened when they ran this evidence. It's 2007. They get this evidence from this murder of one police officer and their partner, who not partner but attempted murder of the partner, who was badly injured. And they get this evidence and run it through the amorphous system, whatever that is called. And they find out that this DNA signature is in the system as having been pinged at several locations, several crime scenes.
Uh-oh.
But it's nobody named, nobody in their system that they've apprehended yet. And it's a woman.
Interesting. I didn't even know that there could be DNA in a system. Oh, sorry. I'm understanding now. DNA in the system where they had collected evidence and
Correct.
Gotcha. I thought someone voluntarily gave their fingerprints without, but not their name. Sorry.
No. So yeah, so basically the DNA collected at other cold
Got it.
cases suddenly pinged when they ran this sort of DNA from this really brutal crime scene.
So this is hinting at someone like being involved in a series of crimes. Of
Correct.
murders. Okay.
Correct. And so that was really alarming to investigators. The first cold case that this woman, this mystery woman's DNA actually appeared at was back in 1993.
Okay.
Now, remember, this is 2007. So basically, this DNA that they collected at this crime went all the way back to 1993 when it was collected. And at the time, they collected evidence. They didn't run the evidence from this cold case until 2001, the one I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
But it occurred in 1993. So this means that this person, whoever this is, has been at the latest started in 1993 at this one crime scene, and now in 2007 is still active, is what this is implying, right? Because they're showing up at all these crime scenes. So I'm going to really quickly tell you about these cold cases, because when these two police officers were shot in broad daylight in their basically in their patrol cars, this became sensational news. It wasn't common knowledge until that point that there was already this pattern being established behind the scenes where a couple cold cases had featured the same DNA of this woman, and they were trying to figure it out. And when the cops slaying happened, it sort of like blew up in the media, and people really started to keep an eye on this and try to figure out what the hell was going on.
Got it.
So, quick story that takes us back to 1993. All right, this woman named Lieselotte Schlenger,
Ooh.
and she was 62. 1993, she's supposed to have a friend over for tea. And her friend stops by and knocks on the door, no answer. Police check in. They unfortunately find the deceased body of Mrs. Schlenger someone had strangled her to death using wire from her own floral bouquet in her sitting room.
Oh,
It's like
what
out
a
of like Monk or something, you know? It's like
yeah. That feels
bizarre.
really. But does it make? I don't. Do I need to analyze this one?
You can analyze all you want because this is one of the weirdest things I've ever covered.
I was gonna say to have wire from if first of all it feels like then it was a crime of passion in some way,
opportunity
where
or
like
yeah.
because like otherwise you would have brought something else surely. To feel so comfortable to like meticulously go through someone's stuff and like let alone rip apart a bouquet just for that, like it all feels
Yeah.
very intimate or personal
It does.
and
It really
opportune.
does. And so this is like horrifying. This is 1993. They collect all the evidence, and they kind of they ask around. Of course, they do their due diligence and ask everyone they can think of. Nobody saw anything. Nobody has any clues what happened. It's kind of like they have to put that evidence on ice until 2001, when DNA is a much more
Sure.
commonly used tool in the crime-solving toolbox. And fast forward to 2001, they open up this evidence again. They decide to run things again and run evidence through, DNA testing, and they find a clue. Finally, on the teacup, a coffee cup in Frau Schlinger's home, there is a trace amount of DNA, and it is of a random woman.
Future homegirl who's everywhere.
Right. We don't know this yet,
Right.
but looking back, this is the first instance that the Phantom of Heilbronn has shown up.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So now, the next instance, that was 2000, that was 1993 that took place. Now, in 2001,
Mhm.
also in Germany, a victim named Josef Walzenbach, age 61, was strangled in his shop with some nearby garden twine.
Oh, also feels opportune.
Yeah, and the Phantom's DNA was also found at the scene.
Wow. Okay.
And these are all happening within a similar area. This is like Germany, a bit of Austria, I believe, just kind of similar, like Central European. One weird fact that they mention on Things You Should Know, or Something You Should Know. What's it called?
Things you should know.
Things You Should Know. I also listened to Something Was Wrong, and I think my brain gets them mixed up.
I mix it up with How Stuff Works, I think.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Things You Should Know. Yeah. They mentioned that they put the closed, whoever committed the crime and murdered this man, put the closed sign on the shop front, like turned it to close.
Like
Isn't
knew
that-
what it implies intent for sure.
Yeah, right? Or like did
Ay-yi-yi.
it afterward, I think. But
Oh.
like did it to just, it's just extra like,
Gross.
sorry, closed for the day, you know. So they did find the Phantom's DNA on a kitchen drawer handle. And so that was the second cold case, looking back from 2007, realizing that this is such a pattern. Now, another wild one was that in October 2001, near Gerolstein, Germany, a child stepped on a discarded heroin syringe recovered in the
Ooh.
woods. Thankfully, the child ended up okay. But when they tested the needle, they found the Phantom's DNA on the syringe barrel.
Wow. Who is this? Just like a world traveler?
It's
Like,
like-
what's
it's
going
like-
on?
Evil Carmen Sandiego, you know what I mean? It's like, where in the world?
You know, there was
like-
forever ago on YouTube, like back when we were in like high school, someone made a trailer to a horror themed Where's Waldo, and I feel like it's all coming back now. So like, feels like
yeah,
Waldo. Yeah.
it's like where will they pop up next? You know.
Mhm.
And so she's showing up in all these places, and then it's like, wait a minute, she does heroin?
Yeah.
She's getting away with decades of crime, and
We're learning
also
way
on
too
heroin?
much. We're learning way too much about her, except who she is.
but it's also like, how could you be so adept at crime if you're addicted to heroin? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Great
is
point.
she this mastermind, or like is she looking for a fix, right? Like, is it like the MO, oh, she just wants enough cash to like buy drugs, or is it like, oh, there's this bigger picture,
Yeah.
and she also does heroin on the side? It's like,
It almost feels like she had a hit list or something, or that she's like
Interesting.
or that she's
Like a very intentional kind of.
well, because like, why is she going around doing this so many times? You would think if it was, first of all, for all the opportune
Mhm.
situations we're talking about, it feels like most of them are like things she didn't mean to do, in which case it would be accidental, in which case you wouldn't be doing this so many fucking times.
Right.
So it feels
Well,
like
accidental, I don't know about.
or
I don't know about
sorry, yeah, that's the wrong word. Like not
like,
planned, like not
in the
preemptive,
moment, like heat of the moment
heated.
type thing. Yeah.
So yeah, then maybe that kind of explains like drugs would do that, or like
I guess that's fair
a
point.
mental health thing.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But yeah, it feels like what did all these people do? Like, are you just
Yeah.
that hot headed? You know?
Yeah.
Or is this
Yeah.
like a ring of people that all happen to like just be tricking the masses by placing the same DNA in every spot?
Okay, so this is like by 2007, people, mostly the police, but then when this starts to like become worldwide news, or at least international news, people within Europe, people are saying like, uh-oh, like this is this phantom like murderer, and who knows where she's gonna strike next, and like clearly very good at this because she hasn't been caught. And so once the 2007 murder happens of the police officer and the attempted murder on the other police officer, this is when this blows up into huge news, and it becomes this full pattern. They're saying this is now the fourth time that this has shown up. Now I'm gonna go back and tell you all the other times throughout, aside from these 3 cold cases that I mentioned, that this woman's DNA has shown up on crime scenes, okay?
Mhm.
Because they're starting to piece this together. They're building a task force. They're thinking like, how the fuck do we stop this clearly serial killer who's under our noses? And here are just some of the, because if I spent enough detail on all of these, we would be here for
Mhm.
more hours than we somehow already are. So I'm going to tell you, it's the first one here that I have in addition to the ones I've already covered. October 24th, 2001, in Budenheim, Germany, there was a forced entry burglary of a trailer. Cookie crumbs were recovered at the scene, and they found the phantom's DNA on the cookie crumbs.
Mood. Got it.
Mood. In 2004, in, I don't know how to say it, Heilbronn, France, there was a crime of armed robbery of Vietnamese gemstone traders, and on the toy pistol used to hold up these traders with a D,
Mhm.
the phantom's DNA was discovered. So now they're like, oh my god, she's a gem thief? Like, real Carmen Sandiego, evil Carmen Sandiego vibes, you know? Like,
It's
Evil
also a
twin.
little, it's now becoming more of a wishbone situation where it's like you wear many hats. Like,
yeah, it's like yes. And that's what they're thinking. Like, how is this like a syndicate? You know, like, is
Mhm.
this like, does she have like a hitman with her? Like, or not a hitman, but like a partner in crime? So that was 2001, 2004, and these are ones that kind of went out of the norm. So the first 3 that I mentioned obviously are very similar. The cold cases, they're I mean, not the heroin, but the ones that happened with the twine and the twine and the twine, the 2 different types of twine. Those were very, very clear homicides. Now we have forced entry burglary, we have gem theft, and now we have this is so wild. In 2005, it's spelled worms, but it's Worms, this
Mhm.
town. Which every time I listen to a podcast and they're like, Worms, Germany, I'm like, oh, here we go. Worms, the incident was a sibling dispute that escalated to gunfire, and on one of the spent bullet casings, it had the phantom's DNA.
What the fuck is going on?
I know. And so now we're fast forward again, 2006 to 2007. We have in Saarbrücken, we have a burglary, and there's this window smashed with a stone, and they find the DNA of the phantom woman on the stone that broke the window. This is like becoming, it's like, and the fact that it's almost, like you said, it's like it doesn't make sense because you're killing these people almost in a crime of passion, and then all of a sudden you're just like, I guess I'll steal a few emeralds, and then
Yeah.
you're like, I kind of want to check into this trailer and see what's going on and eat some cookies.
kind
You
of-
know,
I-
like, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
I know this can't, as of today, be a valid explanation, but it feels like time travel. Like it feels
Yeah, like leaving cookie crumbs literally at the scene
well,
with
also
your DNA.
like for someone who is willing to kill this many people or do this kind of
Mhm.
damage and like isn't even afraid of leaving evidence because at this point
Yeah.
like it's giving narcissist.
Because like evidence, because DNA evidence is like widely known. I mean, I talked about like CSI was the big thing. Like everybody knew DNA evidence was where it's at.
It's either
Um,
narcissism or it's some sort of mental health drug situation because like there's no way that you're doing it this many times
so brazenly.
so brazenly and like leaving evidence every time and knowing DNA's out there and not really caring and still getting away with it. So it's only feeding into this. Like it's
Yes.
something's happening.
And it's like
Twins.
It's also
Could it be twins? Twins of
Oh, interesting.
twins
I
of
did say
different
evil
DNA.
twin just now. I did say evil twin.
I think twins have different DNA though, don't they? Or identical DNA. They don't. I don't know. Keep going.
I
Okay,
have a
obviously it's
friend
not
with
twins.
and I don't want to answer because I will probably be wrong. Okay.
I think they are
Uh,
identical twins have identical DNA. Fraternal twins do not. Okay, it doesn't matter. Keep going. Sorry.
Cool. Okay, cool. So then my friend's twins could probably pull off some sort of heist, I think. 'Cause they
Cool.
are identical. So remember that the cop murder happened in 2007, and all these kind of random sporadic incidents that I'm listing, they're starting to piece together that this woman's DNA has been at all these scenes. And of course, there are varying levels. We have murders, we have like random small time burglary, we have big heist energy of like a gemstone dealer, like
Mhm.
just we have a heroin needle in the woods, like quite an array of situations happening here. And this is what they're kind of putting together in 2007 and what's becoming public knowledge now. So people are like, holy shit, this is like a pattern. So we've got the burglary with the stone. And now in March 2007, man, this story of all stories to pick.
I love this. Can you do more stories like this? This is so fun.
It's a doozy. I was like, of all stories today, I want to do that one that I heard a long time ago. Anyway,
This
it's
is
fine.
whatever the energy is here. I'm sure someone's
It feels so
partner is in the car stuck
chaotic.
listening to us and just wants this to be over. But like, I am loving it.
I need everyone to know that you got to buckle the fuck up. Okay. March 2007 in Gallneukirchen, Austria,
Well done.
Österreich. There's a crime. There's a break-in at an optician's shop, and there is DNA found on the glass display case.
Mm-hmm.
In April 2007 in Heilbronn, that is when the murder of the officer happened and the attempted murder happened, and that is when all of this blew to the front page, and they said, we've not only got what they had been calling the woman without a face, but we've now got the Phantom of Heilbronn, because somebody just shot these officers in cold blood, and we found out that this woman, of all things, has been creating I don't even know what the right word is, committing crimes for many, many years, murdering people for many, many years and burglarizing them.
How many crimes had been committed before the announcement of DNA existing and being used? Because there could have been like one in like 93 where she's like, oh shit, I didn't even
You
think
know
that one
what?
through.
I think you're right. 93 was the one that got figured out in 2000, that was tested in 2001, and everything else seems to have been 2001 on. That could be only because they were testing like cold cases specifically, like retesting for evidence. So I don't know. I don't know if it like became standard in 2001 and that's when they really started like clocking it.
Sure, because
I
it
don't know.
is interesting if it's not a mental health situation or drugs, and this I'm assuming this person is quote sound of mind. You would think, damn, I really am so lucky I got away with that in 93. I got to get it together.
Right. Got to keep it.
Yeah. And then also another theory that I'm just going to throw out there, see how you feel about it. Maybe they're part of some sort of like ritual shit, and not in a witchy way, but in maybe like a some sort of satanic panic kind of way, or like culty way. Like there's
like a faux, like a Manson type way.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Earthquake. Just kidding. That's not a funny joke. Sorry.
Because why else would they be in so many places with so many random people that they had this vendetta against? It's
Yeah.
almost like they're the person that's like cleaning up after other people have done something, and so
It's all like
only
very
their
Dexter, but like
only their
make it
traces are
Carmen
left.
San Diego. I don't know. It's just, and Where's Waldo? It's like a
Yeah.
very weird, like murderous fairy tale. Like it just feels like, what is going on here? It's like a dark twist on a
Yeah,
I don't know, on a fantastical story.
agreed.
So yeah, so okay, so we have the evidence. We have now another one in 2007 of this optician's shop. Now we've got the Heilbronn Phantom, and that's what she becomes known as.
Okay.
Now, just to kind of recap here, from 2003 to 2007 in Germany and Austria, we've got over 20 burglaries and motor vehicle thefts across Hesse, Baden-Württemberg, Saarland, Tyrol, Austria, and Upper Austria, all bearing the same DNA profile of this mystery woman. 20 burglaries and motor vehicle thefts.
She doesn't sleep.
3 No. And then we've already got these. Okay, sorry. So that's 2003, 2007, plus the murders, of course. Now in January 30th, 2008, we've got another really, really, really high-profile crime. 3 Georgian nationals were found shot to death in their parked car.
Whoa.
In Heppenheim, Germany. And this was January of 2008. And when they collected evidence at the scene, they found the phantom woman's DNA inside the vehicle.
I'm so over this. At what point do you think there was like an Olivia Benson who's just fucking done? Like there can't be one more that goes by where we don't have this solved. There has to be.
We'll get to it. We'll get to the one where they're
Okay.
like, this is enough.
I was gonna say there's got to be some cop, some
There's a
angry
tipping
cop
point.
who's like throwing their papers everywhere, going, "Come on! Like where the fuck is this girl?"
There's a tipping point.
Okay.
Yes. So, of course, this like triple homicide is shocking because it's like, well, this is a woman, keep in mind. She's clearly like, whether she's on heroin now or not or whatever, it's possible she is. But how on earth did she kill 3 men and leave their bodies in a car and disappear? She must be working with someone. She must be part of some syndicate. There must
She's
be
a
like
spy.
she must be some sort of secret spy. There must be like a whole group of people involved, and she has all these people. But the wild part is like nobody ever talks, right? So even if they find someone else's DNA or they're like, they have a suspect in mind, every time they talk to someone, they go quiet. There's no naming this person, and it is pissing off the cops because they're like, nobody is this fucking good, like except Carmen San Diego. So March through April 2008, we're back in Germany, and we've got 4 separate home invasions. This is in a month. 4 separate home invasions and 1 apartment break-in on April 9th. Phantom DNA on entry tools and doorknobs of all these places. So now we're doing like lock picking. And it's like you just murdered 3 men and now you're just like lock picking apartments.
This person has ADHD. Like they're
well,
I'm sorry, but the hyperfixation really comes in full effect when you need many skills. Like I know there was a middle of the night situation where they needed to learn how to pick a lock, and all of a sudden now that's what they're doing. At one point they got really into
YouTube was out by 2008.
They got really into
that.
gems at 3 a.m, and all of a sudden they need gems. They
got a rock tumbler from National Geographic Toys, and they needed to figure it out.
I'm telling you, like I know it's like not actually like serious to this, but if I needed to diagnose them, if I were like the BD Wong in this situation, I would flirt with ADHD.
You'd be like, that's actually the first layer. Like that's like the shallowest layer. Like there's a lot we've got to dive into.
If you're interviewing someone and they happen to say they need to stop the interview to go take Adderall, I would jot that down. Like
maybe it's worth a mention.
Let's keep them on the roster. Yeah.
I think so, because they find these 4 home invasions and apartment break-in within a month, and we've got DNA on all of them from this woman. Now we're going to May, the following month, 2008, in Saarholzbach, Germany. We've got a crime of armed robbery of a woman in a clubhouse, like a kind of, I think like a cabana clubhouse type thing. And they found the DNA of the woman on a drinking glass. Now we're fast forwarding a couple months, but again, this is like escalating. You know, we had 1993, now we're in 2008, and it's like monthly or weekly almost. And we've got the case of Diana Pavlenko. Unfortunately, this is another really rough one. So Diana Pavlenko was 45 years old in Weinsberg, Germany. She worked as an auxiliary nurse, and she was found next to her car on the ground, dying of a gunshot wound. And of course, seemingly unrelated, but of course they found the phantom DNA's evidence inside this woman's vehicle.
Insane.
2009. This is the moment.
Okay.
It's gone.
Fucking
it's gone
finally.
Too far.
I'm
It's
over
gone
this.
too far for everyone. Okay. And I know, folks, that in the past people have complained that my stories have gotten too short. This one's short on purpose because, well, not on purpose, but it is just kind of one of those cases where it's like it just kind of more bullet points. And also, we've been here 2.5 hours, so I hope it's okay that this is a little shorter than usual.
The best part about it being short is that they're never short. When we're in the room,
No, your
conversation short.
experience isn't short ever. Yeah. You're trapped no matter what, no matter how long I talk. But so we're in late 2008. We've had this Diana Pavlenko. Now we hit early 2009. This is when everything unravels, okay? So there is this asylum seeker, this male asylum seeker, and this man is found dead. And when they go back to look through his asylum paperwork and find his fingerprints, they find the phantom's DNA on his fingerprint application. Like ink fingerprint application. And they said, that's all right. Like, this has been ridiculous, but like, that's impossible. This is they tested again. No, none of the phantom's DNA.
I can't imagine. Okay, just keep going.
There are also some issues where people who are witnesses of these crimes have described what they saw, and they saw someone with apparently a really ugly goatee.
Okay.
Oxymoron. Just kidding. Wait, no. Is that an oxymoron?
I
No, I meant
to me-
the opposite. I meant the opposite.
To me, it's an exact perfect description.
I meant, what's the word where you say it's like redundant. That's what I meant.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it is
Well,
redundant.
whatever. Sexy goatees. No, so they literally saw a goatee. And so now, I mean, seriously, they're thinking like, is this a trans man? Is this a woman pretending to be a man? And that's how she's getting away
Is
with
it
this?
fake facial hair? Is it
Right. Is it like a disguise? You know, is it like a conspirator? You know, we don't know. And so the police are losing their shit. This is years and years and years they have spent overtime, so much money on this. And then a newspaper, an aspiring journalist comes out with an angle that the police weren't quite ready to admit yet, but would soon be kind of splashed all over headlines worldwide. The DNA was ultimately traced to the cotton swab manufacturing plant where an employee, a grandmother, I believe she's a 71-year-old or 61-year-old grandmother, her DNA, as she packaged up these little cotton swabs, was getting trace amounts on there. And when the police bought these in bulk and started using them, her DNA occasionally would get picked up.
okay? So was this little old lady?
It was this little old lady.
Did she have like PCOS or something that gave her facial hair, or like what was the? Do we know anything about that? What?
No.
I'm confused. What? Tell me.
There was never a phantom lady.
Wait.
It was a factory employee, just this little old grandma. They were buying these swabs that already had some old lady's DNA on them. Because, first of all, they blamed the manufacturer, and then the manufacturer said, we expressly do not sell these for DNA testing. Like, this is not forensic grade cotton swabs. Like, There was not the company was like, we do not fucking say we're at a like level for DNA testing. Like, we don't claim that at all.
So
This was all literally this random lady's DNA showing up at completely.
so she was just like there was no person doing a string of things. It was
There
just
was no link whatsoever, except that they bought this cotton swabs from that.
which means that
Same
all of those like murders
batch.
were still like now brand new open cases, right?
Well, not quite, because they did have they were still open because they thought this was just some random lady, but they had already arrested several people in connection with a lot of these crimes. But like I said, every time they interrogated them and said, "Who was the woman with you?" they were like,
Imagine
and they thought, "Oh, they're protecting this woman." And it's like, there literally was no woman. They're just like, "What are you talking about?"
imagine her at bingo the next day.
I know.
Her book club, they got nothing done. I'll tell you that.
My God. My God. Oh my God. Oh my
Every
God.
every time she touched a mahjong tile, they'd go, oh, DNA, look out. Like so they
Careful.
would rip her. Oh, she was just like the butt of the joke. And I hope she was in on it.
I hope so too. I don't know. I think she was just a Polish grandma. I have no
That
idea.
poor
But
old lady too. Imagine like, I don't know how I would feel. I'd feel
yeah.
like my first initial joke is like to joke about it, but also I'm like, ooh,
No,
like
most sources
now
have been very like cautious of not to name her and stuff, because it's not, relevant, and she didn't do anything. She was just doing her job. But it is like such a wild story, because it's like, I want to give you some facts here.
Sure.
I want to give you the aftermath, the
Okay, yeah.
reforms,
'Cause I was
the
gonna say,
cost of all this.
All I'm thinking about right now is like
The
how
fallout.
she just wins every
No,
icebreaker
she
at
has
this
nothing
point.
to do. Oh yeah, she wins icebreaker. She's kind of out of the picture now. But the cost of this error,
Oh God,
police.
can I guess?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep
No,
interrupting.
okay. I would like you to guess how many overtime hours in
Ugh.
this period of time. I mean, it's years of work, but how many overtime hours and how many million euro? Well, sorry, I just ruined it. 2 million euros. Sorry. How
That's
many
okay. I would have guessed $1 million.
overtime hours?
I would have guessed $1 million, and I would have said, well, I'm trying to think. I don't even know how many cops were on the case, but overnight for years.
I know, that's why it's hard.
Let's say
It's like
10,000.
16,000 or more overtime hours. Yep. 2 million euro cost of error for the error, and dozens of diverted investigations and man hours just spent on like
Chasing a ghost, literal phantom.
a ghost, a phantom.
Is that why
And-
it's called Phantom, or was that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, they actually called her the Phantom before, because they were like, she just disappears, and it was a literally non-existent villain.
The collective sigh everyone had to have made in that
And
police
like, I
department. just going,
usually feel,
"Ugh."
I know, and apparently some of the investigators had already said like they were working on the angle, and the other cops were like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell us? Like, you already had this in mind, but like they kept it quiet because they were like, we don't want that getting out.
Oh
that
my
like we've
gosh.
just been duped by our own lab results and whatever." I mean, it is bonkers. And now, in addition to that, there's now an international standard for DNA-free forensic consumables. So when they send these swabs, they are testing them to make sure there's not pre-existing DNA. Remember, even in the John Benet case, where there was DNA found in her underwear, and people claim like it could have been in a factory, because this happens, like that DNA in a factory. If you're just buying random cotton swabs, yeah, there might be trace evidence of DNA on them.
I wonder, like, was there something about her DNA specifically that was sticking onto it?
It's because they bought that batch or whatever. Like
okay.
they just happened to buy from this location and this plant and this whatever, and
It was kind
whatever
of like,
batch she was working on happened to be the one that they were using,
it reminds me of like the Tylenol thing where like random people were just all dying, and like I think they thought they were all connected to each other, but it was just that they were all buying this like
Yes.
botched thing of Tylenol, like
This like tampered. with,
tampered. Yeah.
I mean, it's just really wild, and it's like they looked like fools, right? Like they spent millions of euros. They spent
Yeah, but how would you know? Like I don't even really blame them. Like how would you This whole time I was making guesses. I never fucking thought that, you know?
Okay, so every time I hear this story on like somewhere and the other person doesn't really know it, it's like they always say, "Don't feel bad. It literally took the police like over a decade
Yeah.
to figure out. Like, don't feel bad that like you didn't because it feels like it's some sort of like weird like Robin Hood, DB Cooper, like mystery agent, Carmen Sandiego, fantastical thing. But then you hear these horrible like actual crimes, and you're like, and then the first two being those, or the first two I mentioned being those like both twine that was found on the scene, and you
Mhm.
know like elderly people, and it felt like is it intentionally elderly people? But then all of a sudden it diverts. So these are all different crimes, not all of them, but I wanted to give a little bit of context here. A few of the crimes, actually, several of the crimes have already been solved. And so I do want to give an update on the case of the police officers who were
Mhm.
shot. Because in 2014, that murder was officially attributed to the National Socialist Underground, the NSU, which is a neo-Nazi terror cell. And apparently these two guys, I don't even want to say their names. I'm not even going to give them that.
Sure.
But they fired the shots, and this was actually part of a greater, you know, terror spree they were on, a terror attacks. And they also left the letters NSU sprayed on a nearby wall, but that hadn't been really clocked or like connected at the
Right.
time. And then when they found this woman's DNA, I mean, they were really on like this rabbit chase, a wild goose chase that obviously did
That's
not get them
wild.
where they needed to
And you
go.
know, all
So
those people who got away with it for years were like, we fucking made it like bandits, made it out like bandits.
phew. I will say a lot of them, they did have the person who did it, but they thought this woman was involved, right? So they would be
Gotcha,
like,
okay.
they would like have somebody in jail and go like, "Who's your accomplice?" And they'd be like, "I'm not speaking to you." And they'd be like, "Wow, she's really got a hold on these people, you know?" And
Meanwhile, I
she
would have, I guess if I was one of those criminals, I would have been just shouting out random women's names
been
every
like,
day just to keep
"Yes,
them guessing.
yes, it was Heidi.
Yeah, you
She
know
did it.
Heidi. I
You know
I
Heidi."
don't have to say anything else. You go find
Mhm.
Heidi and you tell me you know what I'm talking about.
She's in hiding.
Well done.
It wasn't that good, but thank you.
I
So
liked
that's the
it.
case. I know it's very. Speaking of manic, it's kind of all over the place, but
That's why I loved it.
I just thought it was one of the wildest. Like,
It was on par in terms of one of my favorite recent stories you've covered. The other one's sadder, but it was on par mystery kept me guessing wise as the guy who was in the hotel room and ended up getting shot. And
oh my god, yeah, yeah,
those
like
were
those like seemingly impossible cases where you're like, this just feels more impossible than it, like
yeah.
stranger than fiction almost.
For the
Yeah,
whole time I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Yeah, that I really like those.
and
So
like I think
good
this story
job.
is wild too because it also gives so much. It gives like a little bit of clarity too, I think, or maybe like, you know, in the way that you say, take this with a grain of salt. Like it adds a little nuance and context because, like I said, back then people were saying DNA is everything. If your DNA is there, you did it. And like
hmm
one example I wanted to bring up was this cab driver. I don't know what city it was. I believe this is in the U.S. I think, but they found his DNA under this woman's fingernails who was killed, and he went to prison, and eventually was exonerated because they figured out she had just happened to be in his cab, and that's how little it takes for DNA to transfer that she had some on under her fingernails just from being in his cab,
hmm
and suddenly he's sent to prison. And so I think it gave a lot of people like pause, like to say, okay, maybe DNA is not like the end all be all answer to everything. You
Well,
know,
yeah,
DNA can accidentally end up somewhere, obviously.
I was gonna
We
say
realize.
it's just like how every time a new technology comes up, even today, it's like, oh well, this is the lawless land era. Like what's
Totally.
gonna have to happen for things
The
to get regulated?
future. Yeah.
And I mean, even DNA had that situation. DNA analysis.
Yeah, and it was like, of course, it's easy for a jury to hear, hey, his DNA was under her fingernails, and he admitted she was in his cab that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty fucking convincing.
Unfortunately,
if a lawyer spins it right, and then it's like, what do you do?
Yeah, a lot of innocent people probably had to go to jail in the first round of DNA analysis before just people started figuring out that like it's
Well, and
just
also,
a
I mean,
factor, not the whole truth.
But the good part is that also it's exonerated so many people, you know?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
great point.
it has plenty of upsides.
Great
And
story,
I
Christine.
think thank you. And now I think they're a little more careful with their supplies
Yeah.
with their bulk cotton swab supplies.
Oy. Well, that was a great story, Christine.
Oh, well, thank you. I know it's a little chaotic, but
do more of those. Those were neat.
that's
I
a
like
late
being
night rabbit
confused.
hole.
See, that's as my therapist would like to hear. That's why I like you, because you keep me on my toes. So,
Because I am a tornado. Yeah.
well, if you've got it in you, Christine, we've got a yappy hour to do.
Okay, come join us. We will be at patreon.com/ATWWD podcast. And I think we're going to be setting up some pretty clear instructions for the extraterrestrials as to how to make my experience most comfortable and enjoyable aboard their rocket ship.
I can't wait. Christine can probably, but I cannot. And
That's
why
we
drink?